You know, as emotional as it is to see everybody for the first time, at the end of the day, I got to go out and help my team win a hockey game.
Mike Yeo spent 11 seasons as a player and coach in both Scranton, Wilkes-Barre, and Pittsburgh. He was also Dan Bylsma's assistant for a season and a half from 2009 to 2010. Now that he's a head coach in the NHL, he'll never forget what he picked up from Dan Bylsma.
It's hard to, put it on one or two things. Obviously, I can point to X's and O's and different things that he taught me, strategically, but, the way he conducts himself, the presence that he has, the way he communicates, the way that he prepares his teams, those are things that stick out most.
As with any player that dons a Penguin sweater, they remember their time here very fondly, in large part because of the way they're treated by the fans. That's something that Cook certainly will never forget.
I've always said that probably the most respectful fans that I've ever been a part of, and they appreciate and understand that it is a job. We go out and do our job, and they're going to support us, support the team, no matter what. And I think that that's huge. It's a huge confidence feeling for players that come here and play.
And here was the scene after the morning skate for the Minnesota Wild. Zenon Konopka gave his phone to a PR assistant in the clubhouse and had him take a picture. Matt Cook taking a page out of Sidney Crosby's book with the big media scrum around him. And you see his tweet right there sitting next to Matt Cook. Not the best idea is the hashtag that he put there. So it's going to be interesting, and I wouldn't be surprised, Stan, if any fans out there were looking and see a video tribute early in this game to Matt Cook here from the Pittsburgh Penguins organization. So the guys might say the right thing. Mike Yeo said the right thing. It's been too long, and he doesn't have time to look back. These guys experienced the ultimate success. Let's not kid ourselves. This is an emotional night for them.
No doubt about that, and I fully expect the video tribute. It's always a great warm feeling when a player returns, especially one who accomplished much in a Penguin uniform, as Matt Cook and Mike Yeo did as members of the Penguin organization. Well, tonight is kind of backup night at the old ball yard. We told you that Jeff Zatkoff's going to start for the Penguins. The Wild has goaltender issues of their own. Their number one goaltender, Josh Harding, is on IR. They're going to take that time to adjust his medication for multiple sclerosis. So the guy whose place he took, Nicholas Backstrom, who's pretty fair in his own right, gets the start here tonight. He used to be the number one. He is only 2-5-2, 2.93 goals against, and a save percentage of a .900. Well, the Penguins will be away and off on Christmas week. However, that doesn't mean there won't be hockey here at Consol Energy Center. College hockey takes over center ice. We'll be back with Derek Schooley, head coach of Robert Morris. That's next on Penn's Pregame, brought to you by Trib Total Media.
Penguins Pregame is brought to you by Isley's Original Chip Chopped Ham and Barbecue Sauce, and by Get Go. Get in, get out, get going.
Tonight's Stevie Root Future Watch looks ahead to the Three Rivers Classic College Hockey Tournament. Officially drops the puck at Consol Energy Center next Friday, December 27th at 4:30 with perennial powerhouse Boston College taking on Bowling Green. Then at 7:30, the Penn State Nittany Lions and their new program take on the hosts, the Colonials of Robert Morris. Speaking of which, we're joined now by the head coach of the Colonials, Robert Morris. Done so much college hockey, the Frozen Four, coming here a year ago because of the efforts of Robert Morris University. Derek Schooley joins us now. Derek, always good to talk to you, good to see you. Tell us about this field. It looks pretty strong.
Well, it's a very exciting field to have. The Boston Colleges won 3 of their last 6 national championships, and they got 6 alumni playing for the Penguins at some point during the year. And Jerry York's the all-time winningest coach in college hockey, so that's a pretty big deal. And then Bowling Green, you got Dan Bylsma's alma mater, and throw us and Penn State in the mix, and we think we got a really good field for college hockey.
Do you get the sense that because of Robert Morris that people have increased their interest in college hockey, and thus a tournament like this becomes possible?
Well, I think with the fact of getting the Three Rivers Classic here and on a yearly basis, and having the Frozen Four here on last year, I think college hockey's spotlight has grown a lot in town, and people start recognizing college hockey. They recognize college hockey players. And I really believe that a lot of it has to do with the success of the Penguins, but their support. They give us a tremendous amount of support. They're excited about this tournament and excited to have it at the Consol Energy Center.
Now, you've got the doubleheader on Friday. Then will there be a consolation game Saturday and then the championship game Saturday night?
Yeah, we got same times, I think 4:30 and 7:30. We were very fortunate enough to win the first inaugural tournament last year, beating Miami, and hopefully we're playing at the 7:30 game on Saturday night.
Well, you were doing well until you mentioned beating Miami, my alma mater. So that's okay. it's all right. It ought to be interesting. Brooks Orping against Dan Biles of BC and Bowling Green and others as well. Derek, thank you. Continued success with the tournament and better days ahead for Robert Morris.
Thank you, Stan.
Okay, make sure you check that out. If you're a hockey fan, you will love this. Speaking of which, when we come back, Bowling Green alum Dan Bilesma stars in Dan and Dan. That is next.
Penguins pregame is brought to you by Heffron Tillotson, a history of meticulous wealth management since 1948. And by Trib Total Media. Get it right now. Call 1-800-909-TRIB to subscribe or visit us online at triblive.com.
Our Trib Total Media face-off update, be it ever so humble. The Minnesota Wild lead the NHL in terms of percentage of victories at home versus on the road. They've been great at home, not so much on the road. The Penguins are fourth in the NHL. They've been a great road team this year at 15-3. Well, finally, the Penguins get a player back instead of losing him. That is James Neal. What effect will he have on this Penguin lineup? Let's find out next in Dan and Dan.
Well, maybe it's just me, but I'm starting to get the impression that backup goaltender Jeff Zakoff is getting on a little bit of a roll. You informed us earlier in the show that he would be your starting goaltender tonight. How much are you enjoying what he's been able to do as far as a young guy, first year, and maybe growing up in the NHL?
Well, Thomas Vokoun going out in training camp was certainly something that no one expected or planned to see, and Jeff Zakoff had to step into that spot. And that first start in Florida maybe wasn't the best one for him, and you kind of wondered where he would be at, and he's really stepped up his game. He's really stepped into that role. He's had 5-6 really great starts going back to the New York Islander loss. He's won 5 in a row and came in that one game for Marc-Andre Fleury, and really his last 2 starts have been fantastic, so he's going to get another one again today.
You've been talking about guys who have been stepping up a lot lately, several guys from Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Now, you are on this current little winning streak without the services of James Neal, who will be back in the lineup tonight. Do you really need him back in the lineup? Can you survive without him? I'm kidding. But my point is that how much better now can you be with James Neal back in the lineup as it pertains to maybe UC Yoke, and how do they elevate each other?
We just came from our coaches meeting prior to the Dan and Dan show, and we are going to decide to put James in the lineup. What he does for our power play, how dangerous he is, really going to be welcome back in there, and stepping in next to UC there on that line. That line's kind of been the line where the new guys have come in and played next to UC. UC's done a great job there in the middle, but with James on the right side there, he'll be a real scoring threat on our second line now.
Some may say that the Wild have produced 19 wins very quietly. I guess it depends on who you ask. But if you look at some of the numbers, one thing that stands out is they're very stingy on defense, very low goals against. What's important as far as getting pucks to the net tonight against that particular defense?
Well, their goaltending has been good with Harding stepping in there and playing a big role. He won't be in there tonight, but the mainstay back on defense there as Suter plays 30-plus minutes a game. He seems to be out there in every video clip, every scout clip you can get of the Wild. He's on the ice for every situation and really an anchor back there on defense and a big part of their team. Suter's
played 30 minutes or more 17 times this season, in case you didn't know. But why do I think you probably did?
Perhaps.
Big stats guy, Stan. Back to you.
Can't put anything past him. We mentioned how good the Pens are at home. One of the reasons, Sidney Crosby leads the National Hockey League in points at home with 26. Pens.
Details reveal so much in financial planning and in life. And we know it's the little things that reveal big things, amazing things. Heffron Tillotson, meticulous wealth management.
There's an adage, maybe a truism, that adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. Has there been any hockey team that has faced as many character-building moments as the Penguins? But that's only the half of it. The other half, the half that really matters, is that they've responded to the adversity in a positive manner. and thus not only have they showed their hockey excellence, their character has been revealed as well.
Before his 5-game suspension, James Neal had scored 8 goals in 8 games. His goal-scoring prowess will be a welcome addition against the stingy Minnesota Wild. And the well-rested Wild will be a formidable challenge for Jeff Zatkoff, who goes for his 6th straight win tonight. Matt Cook played 352 games in 5 seasons with the Penguins, helped them win a cup in '09. Tonight, Cook returns as the third-line left winger for the Minnesota Wild against the Penguins on Root Sports.
Penguins Hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. For access to everything from preventative care to world-class specialty care. By Western PA Toyota dealers. Now's the time to go places with Toyota. Visit buyatoyota.com for special offers. And by McDonald's. I'm loving it. For hockey.
Get on your feet and make it loud, because here we go. Please welcome your Pittsburgh Penguins.
Welcome inside Consol Energy Center, everybody, for tonight's game between the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Minnesota Wild. The Penguins have won 8 straight home games, 5 in a row overall, and 10 of their last 11. Despite all the injuries, they're finding ways to get points as they did last night in New York. Hello again, everybody. I'm Paul Steigerwald along with Bob Airy, who's downstairs. And Bobby, when you're missing guys, other guys have to step up.
And other guys are stepping up. You know, Jordan Stahl used to step up when Malkin or Crosby was out of the lineup. Brandon Sutter is doing the same thing. Last night against the Rangers, against Del Zotto and Lundqvist, unbelievable shootout goal. Brandon Sutter scoring big goals and timely goals. James Neal is back. He missed 5 from suspension. He's got 10 goals and 10 assists and 20 points in 16 games. and he will invigorate this lineup here tonight.
This is the first visit for the Minnesota Wild since they signed those big names, and those big names are living up to their billing, Bob.
Well, they really are. Zach Parise, former first-rounder of the Devils. There's Ryan Suter. Nobody gets more ice than he does. He'll get Crosby as well tonight.
Let's go down on the ice for tonight's national anthem, the Penguins and the Wild at Consol Energy Center.
Please rise, remove your hats, and direct your attention to the flag above the scoreboard. With the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner, please welcome back Miss Sarah Moritz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, when you're playing the second of back-to-back hockey games, you usually have to turn to your backup goaltender, who has played like a #1 goalie lately, and that would be Jeff Zatkoff, tonight's key starting goaltender against the Minnesota Wild, who have done really well in this building in their history. The Penguins are 0-5-1 against the Wild in their last 6 games against them on this, or in this city, I should say, not necessarily this ice surface.
Yes, and how comfortable Zatkoff looked in his last 6 starts. I mean, he has been absolutely incredible. And it'll be Nicholas Backstrom who gets the start. The Finn netminder, and there is a look at Mike Yeo, his first time at Consol.
Yep, he was with the Penguins from 2005 to 2010, originally an assistant to Michael Therrien and then to Dan Bilesma, and they won the Stanley Cup together, and they still keep in touch. But the Penguins and Wild going head-to-head tonight, Bilesma and Yeo, and the puck is dumped into the Penguin zone. Matt Cook starts the game, his line for the Minnesota Wild in his return to Pittsburgh. And Mike Yeo getting Cook onto the ice for the first shift. And against Jussi Jokinen, James Neal, and Harry Zolnarchuk for the Penguins. Playing on the left wing with those guys. And a backhand shot by Kyle Brodziak is gloved by Jeff Zatkoff. He'll hold on to it. And a face-off coming up in the Penguin zone. The referees, Brad Watson and Chris Rooney, Tim Nowak and Derek Amell are the linesmen.
Well, that little shuffle shot into Zatkoff, and Cook's already getting into it with the Penguins.
And so is Bortuzzo, getting himself ready again.
Yeah. Matt Cook was admiring his pass as he looked around, and Bortuzzo put him on his wallet. And Zatkoff almost missed the puck that came in towards him, Staggy. He tried to glove it. He missed it with his glove. Luckily, he's got a left pad behind that glove.
Wow. The referee there up to your left, Bob, talking to the Mike Yeo right now. And the face-off coming up to the left of Zatkoff. Mikko Koivu onto the ice against Sidney Crosby, and the Penguins control the draw because Chris Kunitz jumped in there to get the puck, but then the Penguins couldn't get it out. Back into his own zone goes Ole Mata. He'll send it back in around for Zach Parise, and up the wall for Kunitz. Kunitz and Crosby, the leading scorer in the NHL, Crosby, and over the line, looks to the right wing. Mata the shot, and a glove save made by Nicholas Backstrom. He juggles the puck, and the Penguins score!
I believe it's Chris Kunitz who's going to get credit for this goal. He started it from the defensive end. Sidney Crosby with great support and speed. Look at it right there. Short little pass. Crosby to Mata joining the rush. The defenseman gets it on net. Backstrom can't handle it. And you can see a couple of chips. It could be Dupuis from in behind. As you see the stick of Dupuis and Kunitz there. The puck just gets all the way across that goal line. It's on edge. It's got to be all the way across. I believe it was, yes, all the way across as you look at it from the overhead. And he just muffed it Backstrom. Crosby kept it in play, and you saw Kunitz and Dupuis attack that net. And both players touched that puck at the exact same time.
Well, a tough start for Nicholas Backstrom. We'll wait to see what the ruling is on this, but it certainly looks like it's a good goal. And Backstrom, 2-5-2 with a 2.93 goals against average. Is not the #1 goaltender of the Wild anymore. Josh Harding is. He's out. He's undergoing medication for multiple sclerosis. Here comes the call on the goal.
After reviewing the play, the puck completely crossed the goal line. It's a good goal.
Maybe Pascal Dupuis' goal, the ex-Minnesota Wild player himself, as that puck just gets across the goal line. You see Kunitz and Dupuis, and maybe it was Dupuis' stick the last to touch it. Boy, that's great stuff. You go right to the blue paint, you stop there, and you get rewarded. And Sidney Crosby kept that puck alive after the netminder Backstrom really kind of muffed the Mata shot.
It's the second consecutive game that the Penguins have scored in the first minute. Before people are even in their seats, the Penguins have a 1-0 lead, and that's a tough way to start for the visiting team. And of course the Penguins love it when they get that first goal. Now back to the puck is Ole Mata. Around now for Connor, who kicks it back into the corner. Penguins are 20-2 when they score first. Now it's Chris Connor down the right wing, trying to poke it to the corner. Taken now by Mikko Koivu, working deep in his own zone. Send it up the wall for Charlie Coyle. Off a stick and back to Clayton Stoner, who just worked it out to neutral ice. Brandon Sutter taps it off the boards, and Joe Vitale sends it the rest of the way up into the Minnesota zone. This is Stoner with it. Out in center, they turn it over. Zach Sill the other way for the Penguins. Shoots it off a stick wide to the corner, and Craig Adams now fighting for it on the near wall is Chuck Kovacic. Stoner pries it free and works it in behind the net. Banged off the boards by Keith Ballard and out to center. Seen a few times now where the Wild have just been able to get the puck to the neutral zone, and the Penguins have dumped it back in, but this time the Penguins ice the puck and it'll come back into the Penguin zone.
Well, tonight James Neal should help invigorate this lineup that needs some goal scoring. Zadkov has been spectacular in his last 6, and will Matt Cook have an impact in this hockey game? Rivers Casino tips here to win tonight, and boy, I was really surprised that Ryan Suter was not on the ice against Sidney Crosby when the Penguins line, the big line, scored for Pittsburgh, Stanky. They had a chance, Mike Yeo, to put Ryan Suter on the ice. They left him on the bench, and here we go. Konopka and Adams right in front of the bench.
Zenon Konopka, who once spent some time with the Penguins in their farm system, battling against Craig Adams.
Yeah, Konopka, he's a tough customer, more of a fighter than I would consider Adams, but Adams getting some good lefts in. Konopka, 50 penalty minutes for the Wild, leads him in that category.
So Adams and Konopka are all done as they get all tuckered out. And now they'll both go to the penalty box. We assume it'll be 5 for fighting to each. But Bob, you were saying something about a penalty there right before.
No, I was talking about the fact that Ryan Suter wasn't on the ice, and I was surprised against the Sidney Crosby unit when Mike Yeo had a chance. And then I saw the two combatants just drop their gloves, and that was pretty even Steven from the start. So I don't expect anything extra.
Guys who bring their lunch pails to the rink every time they play. Zenon Konopka has a lot of penalty minutes in his career. 1,049 now. Yeah, he's 321 NHL games. And there's the old ice pack on the hands. Probably had a lot of those in his life, too. Now here is Ole Mata clearing the puck out. Dupuis gets the goal, by the way, his 7th from Crosby and Mata at 49 seconds of this hockey game. Connor scored at 39 seconds in the last home game against Toronto.
The Wild they're spending a lot of money to get Ryan Suter on the ice, and he gets more minutes than anybody. And I'm still perplexed at why he wasn't on the ice. They're not going to put him on the ice, I guess, against the Crosby unit here tonight.
Ole Mata dumps the puck behind the goal. Jussi Jokinen is there. Now taken by the real deal, James Neal, who sends it back down the wall. Racing over to try to play it was Dupuis, but it's number 9 of the Wild, Mikko Koivu, who dumps the puck into the Penguin zone, and Zadkov stops it behind the net for Ole Mata, and out he comes. And Ole Mata plays great hockey this week with all those regulars out of the lineup. 7 regulars out of the lineup right now for the Penguins.
And again, instrumental on the Penguins' first goal, joining that rush.
Pass off the right skate of Joe Vitale. Crosby after the puck, pokes it free, drops it back. Kunitz closes in, right side Bortuzzo, shot! And he hit the goal post. It was a 2-pad stack by Backstrom, and the shot went over those pads and off the post. Maybe the crossbar, now to the near wing. It is Kyle Brodziak, who actually played for the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, but as a member of the Edmonton Oilers organization when those two teams shared Wilkes-Barre. And that was back when Todd Richards and Dan Bilesma were the coaches in Wilkes-Barre. Now down the wing comes Keith Ballard. He shoots it, and the save made by Fleury and Zadkov. And the puck in behind the net, taken now by Philip Samuelsson. And Samuelsson trying to maintain control. And Philip Samuelsson up the wall. Taken there. Whoops. Ballard just upended Kobasu in the neutral zone.
Here they go. Kobasu didn't like it. Here did Samuelsson, who jumped in initially. And now Kobasu's going to fight his own battle against Ballard. We've seen this many a time. With this small defenseman Ballard, he's tough. He'll go low on you.
He sent him head over heels.
Ballard just trying to pin Kobasu. Kobasu able to get the left free a little bit. Trying to drag him down, and he's got a couple extra into the back of the head of Ballard. He paid a price for that hit.
Ballard once fought Sidney Crosby, you remember?
And they may be trying to get Ballard out on the ice against Sidney Crosby here tonight. Ballard loves to go low with that hip check. He's small as it is. He comes across. And that's a classic hip check right there. Nothing the matter with that one. But Kobasu didn't like it. And Kobasu, after Samuelsson got in there, Kobasu fought his own battle, and Ballard said, okay, let's do it.
Any more ice in there? So this game getting off to a pretty good start in the physical department. Mike Yeo and Dan Bilesman's team battling right from the start. The Penguins, of course, got the first goal, which is huge. And Brandon Sutter to take the draw now in the neutral zone.
Well, the Minnesota Wild, they have not been good on the road. They have to get engaged. They gave up a goal in just about the first minute of this hockey game, and they know that their coach and their assistant coach have ties to the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a big game for the Wild, and they're trying to come out here and match any way they can against Pittsburgh.
Zadkov makes the save, steering the puck to the near wall, and the Penguins quickly start out. And it is Sutter. He'll get the cross corner dump to the left wing corner. Jonas Brodin backhanded it up the wall and taken now by Danny Heatley in center. And the Penguins do a good job again in the neutral zone, but the Wild able to get into the Penguins' end, and Heatley just softly set it to the net, and Zadkov covers it up with defenseman Suter going to the goal, looking for the puck. Lots of connections between the Penguins and the Wild, not just Bilesma and Yeo. Chuck Fletcher, their general manager. Of course, Matt Cook and Mike Rupp, who's out of the lineup tonight. Daryl Sador was an assistant. Is an assistant, was a defenseman for the Penguins from 07 to 09. You already saw Konopka, and I mentioned Kyle Brodziak, and there's Chuck Fletcher. He hired Mike Yeo, and he did a great job in Houston. And the American League before getting the opportunity to coach in the NHL. Went to the Calder Cup final in 10-11. Yo did. Well, the puck is gloved and held on to by the goaltender Zatkoff.
Koivu's going to match up against Sidney Crosby in this hockey game. Yo wants center on center. So number 9, Mikko Koivu, Mike Yo's choice to match up against Sidney Crosby. Not worrying about the defenseman as much, although Suter is on the ice right now.
Koivu against Crosby. Suter wrists one wide of the goal. Suter has no goals, by the way, 19 assists. He's gone 46 games without scoring a goal. And Suter now backing up and playing the puck. Jared Spurgeon moved it out on right wing where it's dumped into the Penguin zone. Matt Niskanen back to play it. Left it there for Olli Maatta. Great puck retrieval there for the Penguins. Tap, and out of their zone they go. And now the long lead pass is going to go the length of the ice, and it will be an icing call against the Penguins. And there's some Penguins connections to Minnesota, Bob.
Yeah, Chuck Kobasu in the box, scrapping already. 105 games of the Wild. Dupuis's got a goal. So, you know, things mean a lot when you play against your old team. You can see guys getting engaged, getting on the score sheet already.
Verdeen wrists it back in behind the net. Niskanen right there to take it. And Matt Niskanen. 29 minutes last night in New York. Crosby dumps it in. That's a career high for him. 29:44 to be exact. This is Suter behind the net. Moves it to the corner. And Jonas Brodin. Love that name, and he was a guy who made a big name for himself as a rookie last year in the league, just as Olli Maatta is doing it for the Penguins now. Kind of a surprise how well he played so soon. Now here's Jokinen with it, moving it back, and Dupre over to the near side, and Philip Samuelsson brings it all the way to the blue line, taps it off the boards. Neal sends it back into the corner, taken by Jokinen. You see Jokinen back to Simon Desprez, and over for Philip Samuelsson. Back down into the corner. Penguins moving that puck around nicely. Samuelsson to Desprez, closing in. His shot down low. Save made by Backstrom. And he's able to find the rebound before the Penguins could get to it.
Yeah, and Suter knocked Jokinen down on his wallet. That's what he's paid to do. But great plays up on the point. Neal to Samuelsson, finding Desprez coming in the back door. Maatta in on the first goal, and Bortuzzo almost in on the second off the crossbar.
During the break, a tribute to Matt Cook.
And he's smiling like a butcher's dog.
And Cookie helped the Penguins win a cup in 09, and fans giving him a standing O. And Matt Cook obviously very appreciative of that as he waved to the crowd. Welcome back, Cookie. And now playing on the left wing on the third line with Brodziak and Bulmer for Chuck Fletcher and Mike Yeo in the Minnesota Wild.
Well, he certainly, the organization realized that Matt Cook had to change his ways. He went through a lot to do that as we get a whistle, a shot in there by the Penguins defense again, and 971 career games, now 972 for Matt Cook. What a career.
An emotional moment for him too, no doubt. I think he has really strong feelings about the organization because of how kind they were to him and compassionate, and helping him get through some of the adversity that he went through. Ray Shero certainly handled it perfectly. Cook is a better player and a better person for having gone through it all. Now Spurgeon back in his own zone as the Penguins apply pressure. Connor trying to center it. Spurgeon able to work it out the center. And Nino Niederreiter, number 22 of the Wild after the puck. And behind the net, Bortuzzo tried to play it. Now it's Brandon Sutter getting plastered against the glass, but able to bounce off that check and move it out. Connor dumps it in behind the defense. He and Joe Vitale with good speed on the wing to get after it. Vitale pokes it in behind the net for Connor. Swept to the corner. And out now for Eric Haula, number 56 of the Wild. Pumping it in and then going back into the bench as the Penguins. Niskanen moves it ahead to Crosby. Sends it off the left wing boards, and Aaron passed that time. And Zach Parise tried to get to the Koivu, but that wouldn't go. And now it's Suter with it. And Ryan Suter gains center and dumps it all the way around where Zach Parise kicks it back down to the end board.
It's a hard-working line when you got Koivu and Zach Parise out there, the former first-rounder of the New Jersey Devils.
Olli Maatta to the puck. Maatta trying to get up the wall there, but the Wild cut him off. Dupuis comes back to help out, make sure that Parise doesn't play it. Kunitz digging through center ice, dumps it up into the Wild zone. Shooter back to play it. Slips it over to the near corner, and the Wild able to bring it out quickly as Parise worked it into the middle for Charlie Coyle. He's a forward wearing number 3. That's the number that he wore at BU, and also the number that his cousin Tony Amati wore at Boston University. It's nice. I looked back through all the league's history to see if there were any famous forwards who ever wore number 3, and I couldn't find one, Bob.
Well, he's hoping to be the first.
Absolutely.
He's the first rounder of the San Jose Sharks.
Charlie Coyle, and now a shot to the goal and a save made by Backstrom. And still looking for the rebound. He goes behind the net, battling for possession. Haula trying to get it up and out, and the Penguins keep it in. And there's a one-timer by Dupre, and it's deflected away from the net. Another quick shot. Jokinen letting it go, and Backstrom able to glove it and hang on to it. And now a little conversation in the corner. Take a look at our Barrel Automotive leaders, and that would be Matt Niskanen really stepping up. A +18 to lead the club.
Look at the minutes he's played in the last 3 hockey games, over 28 minutes. As Adams and Konopka come to their respective benches after that scrap, come out of the penalty box. Matt Niskanen, wow. He can play any kind of role. He can shut down. He can play on the power play. If you need a spark in that area, just quietly goes about doing his business.
And he's from the state of hockey, as they call Minnesota. And the Wild control the puck off the draw in their own zone of the left wing, and Matt Cook feeds it into the middle. Brodziak and over the line. Fires the puck over the head of Zadkoff and off the glass. Philip Samuelson goes back, playing physically there, allowing Dupre to play the puck, and he works it out on left wing to Connor. He's cut off in the neutral zone by Brett Bulmer, and now the puck shot up into the bench area on the far side. On this week's Inside Penguins Hockey, Craig Adams, who we just saw in a scrap, is mic'd up during a recent Penguins game. We recap Evgeny Malkin's incredible November. Chris Letang's trainer takes us inside his grueling workouts and much more. Inside Penguins Hockey is presented by Heritage Valley Health System tonight after postgame on Root Sports.
Well, Adams is back on the ice after that scrap, but Konopka beside me on the bench with all his knuckles bloodied, has an apparatus over his finger. I think he broke his pinky finger on his left hand, and he's gonna tape those 2 fingers together, Staggy. Oh boy.
Well, players aren't allowed to remove their helmets anymore. I mean, they can come off, but they're not supposed to purposely remove them for a fight. And Zenon Konopka is going to have a lot of knuckles that are bleeding. If that's the case from here on out, because he doesn't mind throwing punches at a guy's helmet, obviously.
Look at that work by Sutter down low, in behind his goal line to help out the defense.
Puck is dumped in by Brandon Sutter. And the Wild quickly move it out to center ice. Steered in by Matt Cook. Back to get it.
Look at all the
Olimata.
talking. Yeah, look at all the talking Zadkoff is doing, directing traffic back there.
Parise, couldn't shoot the puck. He was ready to pull the trigger, and it wandered away from him. And now Crosby reaches back for it, but he was hooked on the play. And there will be a hooking penalty here. Penguins up 1-0. And an opportunity to add to that lead in a moment.
Game last night, late night. How do you get prepared to start like you did tonight?
It's a pretty quick turnaround. I mean, it was a 8 o'clock game last night, and you go through overtime and shootout. It turns out to be a bit of a late night, but try to get some rest today, have a nap, and try to rest up. And so far, we're going pretty good.
Who's communicating down there? You got the puck behind the goal line, and I heard wheel, wheel, wheel. Is that Zadkoff or the D?
Probably a little bit of both. Zadkoff's definitely pretty vocal, as we all know, so it always helps having that back there. But I think a lot of times the D yelling at you, trying to give you your eyes behind you, and worked out well.
Thanks very much.
All right, thanks, Bob.
Penguins on a power play. Niskanen with a drive and a save made by Baxter on the rebound. And the Wild try to get it out, can't do so. And Niskanen again across for Jokinen. Down to Sid, into the slot for Neil. Sidney Crosby, and the shot taken. The stop made by Backstrom.
Wow, what a give and go that was. And Backstrom had to move to his right, then back to his left. And Jokinen's on the power play for the Penguins on the point.
The Penguins' #1 ranked power play has scored 13 goals in the last 11 games. And happy to see James Neal back. Oh, so dangerous with a man advantage. Now here's Jokinen. Crosby. Puck slides by the net. Back to the near corner. Kunitz turns his back on Parise, who's to get the puck out, and he does. And Zach Parise killing a penalty for the Wild, but the Penguins get it back at center. And it's Jokinen over the line for Crosby, who snapped it across off a stick, and Penguins have to retreat. Niskanen with it. Wild ranks 25th in penalty killing. Here's Crosby with it, and he drops it off. Matt Niskanen holds it and then sets it up from the half wall. Now Crosby goes across. Jokinen. Kunitz in front of the net. Jokinen's pass off the stick of Charlie Coyle, and Karam's back into the Penguin zone.
Good job by Coyle there. An active stick. He's shown one way in the middle, then he moves it to the outside. It keeps you off guard if you're the puck carrier.
13 seconds to go on the penalty, and now the puck jumps up into the Penguins bench on the far side.
A lot of pressure here for the Minnesota Wild on their penalty kill. Niskanen back for the puck. Cook right on his tail. Gives him a little shove. Trying to disrupt the breakout. Zach Parise. Pressure. Penguins, Wild trying not to let them set up. They've been so deadly. Pittsburgh Penguin power play.
Dan Bilesman referred to the Penguins' power play as unscoutable last week, Bob. What did he mean by that?
Well, so much motion. You got so many moving parts on it. And so many different players as well. This is going to be an ice here. A bad pass. But when you're all over the ice, and hey, listen, the Penguins, Bilesman and company, they don't say much of the power play in practice. They're all over the place. Improvisation.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Pominville taking the draw. He's tied with Parise. 15 goals to lead the Wild. What a year for Pominville.
Yeah, I'll say Mason Pominville. 15 goals, 23 points. Another guy who was acquired for the first and second rounders from Buffalo. That was a great acquisition by Chuck Fletcher. And the Wild need to be good because that's a tough conference they're playing in right now. They're currently in a wild card position for the playoffs, but it is a tight race with Phoenix and a couple of really good teams. They're going to miss the playoffs in the West this year. Puck out of play again on the far side.
It's about 4 of them that I've been able to reach out and almost get, as that one came into the bench area once again, but off the glass. And the Wild are also missing Michael Granlund, who's injured.
And you see where they are right now. They're behind Vancouver for that second wild card position. The top 2 teams in that bracket make the playoffs. The top 3 teams in each division will get in. The Penguins currently leading the Metropolitan Division and running away with it, really. Now Backstrom moves it out. Penguins with 51 points, and Washington in second in the division with 39. Charlie Coyle moves it to the right side. Spurgeon with a shot, and it's off the glove of Zatkoff and up and out of play.
That means that the faceoff will stay inside the Penguins zone. Spurgeon coming up way late. From the Supermole Allegheny Health Network, providing that for you.
When I look at Spurgeon, Bob, 5'9", 168, a 6th-round pick of the Islanders originally in 08. I think of another little guy that used to play for the Minnesota North Stars. You might remember him. They called him the Penguin.
Who's that, Kurt Giles?
Kurt Giles, that would be him.
He liked the hip check too, like that Ballard hip check.
Now here's Kobasu. Reaching back for the puck. Kobasu trying to get to the red line here, but he's cut off on the near wall by Charlie Coyle. Now Adams with it. He'll turn it on the backhand up into the Wild zone. Trying to get it is Scandella. He works into the near boards. Pops off the boards to the Penguins. Adams, and out to the point out of Bortuzzo. Now it's Dumoulin with a shot. Now it's off the target. Off the end boards, Bortuzzo pinching down against Niederreiter. Puck came out to Kobasu, who slapped it wide of the goal. Still racing over, but it's chipped out by Danny Heatley and up into the Penguins zone. 6:13 to go in the first period. 11 shots for the Penguins, 6 for the Wild. The Penguins scoring just 49 seconds in. Pascal Dupuis, the former Wild man, got the goal. Now here's Neal shooting it to the stick of Backstrom, who steered it to the corner. And back around behind the net for Crosby. Sidney Crosby protects the puck and gets it out to Niskanen at the right point. Matt Niskanen back into the corner. Neal. Up top now to Niskanen. Back to the front of the net. Off a body to the near corner. Neal couldn't find it. And it's going to be brought out by Cook. Stepping up on him is Niskanen. Great gap again for the Penguins defenseman. And the Wild trying to get it out of their zone one more time. Sutter steps up in the neutral zone. The Wild can do nothing but just slip the puck inside the line and give it right back to the Penguin defense. Niskanen dumps it right back into the Minnesota zone. And on it is Harry Zolnarchuk. Didn't play the puck. Taken now by Jonas Brodin. He's looking at two Penguin forecheckers, Zolnarchuk and Dupuis. And again, the Penguins break it up in the neutral zone and push it right back into the Wild end. Here comes Parisi trying to pick his way through center ice. And Ole Mata to Niskanen trying to get it out. Now the Wild applying their forecheck, and they're able to get possession of the puck. Brodin sent it across the ice, but it's mishandled by Scandella. And Dupuis able to bank it rink wide and up into the Minnesota zone. 4:43 remaining in the first period.
Penguins have really used their D-to-D play right on the blue line of the offensive zone, trying to loosen up that house. Another puck into the bench.
We'll be back with the Penguins leading 1-0.
Well, with all the new faces on the blue line, it means increased ice time for Minnesota native Matt Niskanen. He logged a career high 29 minutes and 26 seconds on Monday. Ryan Suter of the Minnesota Wild certainly knows the feeling. He's played 30 minutes or more 17 times this season. So far, the only Penguin to top 30 minutes in one game, Chris Letang. 17 times, and we're not even halfway through the season. And that doesn't include the Olympics either, right?
It's amazing. So he's earning his money. He's got a lot of that coming. And he'll be logging a lot of ice time for Dan Bilesman in the Olympics. Here's Chris Connor down the right wing, pulling up and shooting, and a save by Backstrom. And there's no rebound.
Boy, Chris Connor got in behind Moneybags, and he was able to get a good shot at the netminder Backstrom. And you can't touch a guy when he's skating like this. And look, Suter cannot touch him because it would have been interference. Spurgeon goes underneath Connor. Connor over top, riding bareback there as he fires that puck towards Backstrom. I'll tell you, Connor brings so much energy to this lineup. I think it's one of the reasons why Brandon Sutter's having such a tremendous stretch here, because he's just invigorated by all this youth. Not so much youth, but energy around him.
And trust me, Spurgeon's the only guy on the ice who could get underneath Connor.
Or Ballard.
Maybe Ballard. Now it is Brodin. It wanders off his stick, and Dupre right there to take it away from him. Moves it along now to Philip Samuelson, number 55. His dad wore 5 for the Penguins. Alfie. Now Kovacic takes it on the right wing, knocked away from him by Stoner back into the Penguin zone. Samuelson came over and tapped it out on right wing. Center ice, Charlie Coyle with good burst of speed down the wing against Dupre. Fans on the shot though. Dupre gives him a ride into the corner boards. Crosby comes back to help out. Crosby breaks up the play down there as Koivu was looking for a pass, and now Dupre behind the net for Samuelson, who's hit by Parise. A lot of work in here behind Jeff Zatkoff. Comes up the near wall where Scandella shoots it. And Zatkoff able to make the save and find that loose puck.
Oh man, this Coyle is a big body. He had one heck of a shift there. He put Dupre down on a big hit. He got to the front of the net. He had showed good speed. You can see why he was a former first rounder of the Sharks.
Coming up in the first intermission, presented by your neighborhood Ford store with Rob King and Jay Caulfield. Dan Potash will speak with Pascal Dupuis. Duper getting the goal. 7th of the season for Crosby and Mata.
Starting to get that production.
Yeah,
to come back like last year.
Right, Bob, and he's gone to the net a couple times and found some garbage and able to fight for the possession of the puck to score a goal.
Yep. It's a good recipe, isn't it, when you're struggling? Get in there tight, try to bang in some rubber. There's a lot of ugly looking goals that we see each and every night. It's the way you score.
Here's Niskanen with it now. Matt Niskanen gains the zone, but it's going to be offside. Bob, when you have a guy that plays that many minutes, it's just really kind of amazing that one guy could kind of log that many minutes. What do you make of that? I mean, what kind of special qualities do you have to be a guy that plays as much as Ryan Suter?
Well, he doesn't have any goals. He's not going to join a lot of rushes. He's more tactical. He's a guy that could probably play 45 minutes. You could see you have to work behind him like Chris Connor did on the last shift. He's going to play within himself, a guy like Suter. You know, he's not going to try to do anything out of the box, if you will. He's a defender. He's a good first pass guy. He's a good skater, so he can match up against other teams' top players. But you want to hit him. You want to get pucks behind him. But I don't think you're going to see him behind the Penguins' net. He's not Chris Letang.
Here's Cook trying to chip the puck in front, and Zakhoff cuts it off and is able to freeze it at the side of the goal.
Matt Cook, you will see behind the Penguins' net.
You'll see him
in front of the net, and anything he can do. He'll try to get under the skin of the Penguins here tonight as much as he can. You know, he wants to get involved and get on top of the netminders. And there is Bortuzzo looking down at Matt Cook again. We know those two got into it right from the first shift of this hockey game. And Bortuzzo, that game he played against the Leafs, it's still on everybody's mind. Vitale said he couldn't believe it. It fired him up.
Shot and a blocker save made by Zakhoff. He said, Joe Vitale said they put gunpowder in his breakfast, Bob. That was a great quote from Joe Vitale. Brooks Orpik actually looked pretty good in his workout this morning. That's encouraging. As he's recovering from the concussion that occurred in that incident with Sean Thornton, who was suspended for 15 games. Sean Thornton will make his appeal on that suspension tomorrow with the commissioner. Olimata with it now. Up the right wing, Joe Vitale had it in his feet, couldn't play it. Sutter looks around for it. Nino Niederreiter, the former New York Islander first-round pick, dumps it in behind the net. And the Penguins quickly move it out. Vitale had it and lost it, though. Eric Halle in there working hard in the corner for the Wild, along with Zenon Kanaka, moved it up top. Back down to the corner, and the cycle is on right now for the Wild as they try to, they can't get that puck to the front of the net, get an ugly goal before the end of the period. Penguins leading 1-0, and Sutter trying to clear. Brodin can't hold it in, and they'll have to go back to center to play it.
Good shift there by the Wild, having the Penguins in their zone. Penguins got a couple of changes. Sill and Sutter off the ice.
Joe Vitale takes off. He's out here with Kunitz and Crosby at the moment. And Vitale dumps it behind the net, backs from out of the goal. 1:17 to go in the period. 13 shots for Pittsburgh, 8 for Minnesota. And this is Ryan Suter. Uncle Gary played a long time in the National Hockey League, was a heck of a player. His dad is Bob Suter, who played for the team that won the gold medal in 1980 in the Olympics. Great hockey family, the Suters, out of Madison, Wisconsin. Now the puck on the near side, taken by Robert Bortuzzo. He moves it into the middle with Sidney Crosby. Crosby goes to the left wing to Kunitz, to Dumoulin, and he guns it just wide of the goal. He got all of that, just missed the target. Now it's Dupuis trying to get it back to the net. Brodziak blocked that. Dupuis gets it back, banks it off the glass. Down in behind the net, where Stoner wraps it around with the backhand. Philip Samuelson pinches down to keep it alive. 26 seconds to go in the period. The Penguins on a mission right now to try to get one before the horn. Samuelson to the corner, now to Kunitz. Now to Jokinen. Jokinen works the corner. 17 seconds to go in the period. Jokinen to Samuelson, a shot. It's off a leg. Comes near side with a dozen seconds left. Dupre centers. It's off a leg, taken by Jokinen. 8 seconds to go. Dupre with it again. Pushed to the ice by Matt Cook. And looks like time will run out here in the neutral zone. And the Penguins will take a 1-0 lead to the locker room here.
A big goal for the Penguins to start the hockey game on their second shift. And that's the goal scorer right there. Pascal Dupuis would not be denied as he and Kunitz crashed the nets.
Let's go to Robin Jay for our first intermission report.
Stocky Bob, thanks very much, Jay. The Penguins looking to make it 6 in a row. This is the third time in the last 4 games they've scored in the first minute. What a great way to start. And I was talking to Stan Savran, slightly off camera here, how important that would be maybe tonight to get the lead because of the fact that they played last night and they might get tired towards the end of the game.
Yeah, anytime you get an early lead, but especially for the reason you just mentioned. When you traveled all night, got in late, but again, you had a big win last night, so that gives you a little more energy. But they've come out and been the aggressor again. They get the early goal. Great goaltending for Pittsburgh. Good job all the way around. I mean, again, to come in after last night when Minnesota's here, that's the way to play the game.
Penguins lead by the score of 1-0 thanks to a goal from Pascal Dupuis. Dan Potash will catch up with him Jay will tell us straight and highlights from around the league when we return. Pascal Dupuis, 7th of the year early on, just 49 seconds into the first, give the Penguins a 1-0 lead as we welcome you to the first intermission report presented by your neighborhood Ford store. Alongside Jay Caulfield, I'm Rob King. Jay's going to tell us straight in a minute, but first, Dan Potash catches up with Pascal Dupuis. You'll notice that Dan's hair is a little messed up. We're going to show you why that is after the interview, but here they are, presented by your Western PA Chevy dealers.
Well, you know, guys, I had a chance to watch Pascal Dupuis take batting practice with the Pirates. Not bad, but I also had a chance to watch him field some balls in the infield. Not so good. But you had to follow the bouncing puck out there. Nice job.
Bouncing puck, yeah, right in the crease. You go to the right place on the ice, and those pucks are going to go in. Sid kind of batted it off the goalie, thought he had it. A couple whacks at it. I don't know. Started the game pretty well there.
Started the game a little chippy as well. Things settled down there for the latter part of that first period, or will it pick back up again?
We'll see. You know, it's one period against a team that we don't see much. So, yeah, a low hit that Chucky saw him coming, and the guy ducked a little bit. So, I don't know. It happens in the game.
Good luck with the bouncing pucks and the chippiness.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Good talk, guys.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Pascal. And there were a couple of fights in that first period. Does that favor one team or the other in a game like this?
Well, I think Pittsburgh, that's one thing Pittsburgh can do anyway. We've said it a lot over the years here. Pittsburgh can play. If you want to go physical, they can play physical. In fact, it brings some of these guys into the game a little bit more. They're trying to prove what they're about. So Craig Adams did a good job against Konopka, and he's always looking. He plays that chippy kind of thing. But I do think Pittsburgh, they're built to play any which way, so I look at it as a favor for them.
All right, stick around. Jay's going to tell us straight for you. The Penguins leading 1-0 after one period of play. Up here's Pascal Dupuis having some fun with Dan Potash. Jay, tell us straight when we return.
Penguins hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by Jeep. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most innovative lineup ever. Shop at ChooseNissan.com.
Welcome back to the first intermission report presented by your neighborhood Ford store. Time for Jay's illustration, and Jay, the lone goal comes 49 seconds in, and you want to take a look at that goal.
Yeah, and I want to show up from the defensive zone out. You're going to see just good communication between Niskanen and Mata, and then good support. And then we'll watch Mata jump up into the play. So starts here. Obviously, you can see here's Mata in this position, and who he's helping for. Here's his defensive partner. You're going to watch that it's going to be a little bump behind, and then we'll see the play that Niskanen makes. So they're communicating. Nice little bump. Freeze it here. Look at the little delay right here by Niskanen. He puts the brakes on, and now you've got great support on the wall. Here's going to be Kunitz right here. Crosby and Dupuis you'll see swing in as well. So again, good support. He's comfortable going around the wall. And then again, another great play. Freeze it one more time. You don't have the clear pass right here to Dupuis. He delays enough. Dupuis comes from the right wing over. He delays enough. You'll see Crosby scoot in towards the middle, and Kunitz finds him. Nice delay. There's Mata jumping up into the rush, making it a 3-on-2. A good pass. Now watch again. Freeze it here. And also, we talk. Here's Crosby. Dupuis going. And Kunitz is a key guy again, just because here's his defenseman. Mata's his D. He's going to cover the point for a second, see there's an opportunity, and then he goes as well. So you get all that traffic in front and making a lot. And here's the mistake right there. On Backstrom's side, you got hustle. On Pittsburgh, Backstrom needs the #1 glove the first shot. Then he misses the next chip, and then it's in the back of the net. That's all, but it all starts. You need great support. Mata and Niskanen work very well together. There's good communication with them. He's coming back young, D makes a little move, but knows Niskanen's there. Then strong on the wall, and Kunitz knows where his wingers are at in center. It's a great job, but the goal starts because of that great breakout, and then they rush the net. And you need your goaltender to catch the puck.
Dupuis 7th gives the Penguins a 1-0 lead. Jay, let's take a look at the first period summary brought to you by Fort Pitt Capital. By the numbers, what do you see here?
Well, I just think, Rob, you touched on it. Late night travel, they played last night. They come out, they had good legs, and then take advantage of their shots and their opportunities, and Zakov was good again.
Highlights from the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Philadelphia Flyers, and Jay will tell you what to look forward to in the second period when we return on the first intermission report brought to you by your neighborhood Ford store. Pascal Dupuis is 7th of the year. Sidney Crosby assisted, so did Aoi Mata. Another bit of evidence that the young defensemen for the Penguins are playing great hockey. Steige and Bob have more and to call in the second period. Guys?
Thanks a lot, Rob and Jay and Bob. You know, Ray Shero just keeps drafting defensemen, and now we know why, because it really pays off at times like this.
Yeah, Pouliot, Harrington, they haven't even been here yet. But Olimata's been here, and he got involved in the first goal for the Penguins, joining the rush. And it didn't stop. You saw Robert Bortuzzo ring one off the crossbar. You saw a stick-up puck by Simone Dupré and good physical play, pitching down the wall for 47 Dupré. And then you saw Samuelson shortening up on the stick. He got on the score sheet as well with one shot. The Penguins defense had 7 of the Penguins' 13 shots in the first period, and were very, very instrumental and involved in that period.
Take a look at our UPMC Sports Medicine injury update. You got an hour? It's a long list. Jason Megna is up here in the box on between periods. He's sitting with Bo Bennett. I asked Jason if he wants to come into the booth for a while and watch the game up here with us, Bob. He might stop in.
Perfect. And he'll be out for a while, we hear. Lower body injury.
Penguins outshot the Wild 13-9 in the first period.
A lot of the Penguins shots did come from the point where the defense had 7 shots. You know, what the Penguins are trying to do is loosen up the Minnesota Wild defense. They play such a good defense inside the house. You know, kind of from those inside the top of the circles down to the dots and then towards the crease. If that was your house, that's where the Wild like to play, and the Penguins are trying to take them away from that house.
Jason Megna in a pretty fearful collision with Jonathan Bernier, the goaltender of the Leafs.
Yeah, and Megna took the worst of it. His right leg, as he was limping off the ice, took a couple extra cross checks on his way to the Penguins bench.
He's wearing a full-sized walking boot, Bob, that comes all the way up to almost to his knee up here in the box. So it's going to be a while. 6 weeks for Jason Megna. Promising prospect for the Penguins for sure. He's an undrafted prospect. Now a centering pass by Parise, loose puck, cleared away and up to Kunitz. Crosby takes off up the right wing, swings wide to take the pass as Suter backs in on him. Crosby shoots it and a save made by Backstrom.
Oh boy, Suter gave Sidney Crosby a lot of respect there, a lot of room, more than we've seen other defensemen. He didn't want to jump on Crosby for fear of getting, well, of getting beat at the blue line. Zach Parise getting the puck to the front of the net, and there's the long stick of Olimata, and then that led to that shot by Crosby. Our Super Bowl presented by Allegheny Health Network.
Ryan Suter, 7th overall in 03, the same year that Marc-Andre Fleury was drafted.
Did he play that puck with the off a face-off with his glove? That's a penalty. That's a 2-minute minor. You can't do that anymore. If you break your stick, you can't play that puck with your gloved hand, and they're discussing that right now. Should this be a penalty against the Minnesota Wild? And Sidney Crosby wants to take a look up top. You can't play it with a cannot play it with a broken stick with your hand. Right here, there he is. He shuffled it back with his hand. That's a penalty by Broziak. Broken stick, there's the hand, plays the puck off the face-off. He should be in the box for 2. There it is. There's the hand, swiping it back, his right hand. You can't do it. I don't know. That should be a penalty.
I think they're discussing whether or not the broken stick sort of negates the fact that he played it with his hand, and that's what they were explaining to Sidney Crosby. Now they're going to go over and explain that to the coaches, Bob.
Arms crossed. They had blown it down as soon as the stick was broken on the face-off. So essentially, they're going to just re-drop it because somebody broke their stick on that face-off. And the whistle, I did hear the whistle goal, and that negated the play after that, which was the illegal passing of the puck on the face-off with the hand.
Chris Rooney still explaining it over there in front of the Penguins bench as the puck goes up into the Penguins zone. It'll be an icing call, and they'll drop it again back at the Minnesota zone. 40 seconds into the second period, and the Penguins leading 1-0.
Crosby's still talking to the officials about that one. He's not buying it. Neither is Dan Bilesman, is still getting an earful, and Tony Granato.
The debate rages on, but the puck is dropped again, and Sidney Crosby with it. And Crosby and Dupuis work the wall. And Crosby with that back turn to Brodziak, protecting the puck. Brodziak tried to push him off the puck. He stayed with it. But off the stick of Kunitz and carried back to center. Matt Cook dumps it to the right wing corner of the Penguins zone. Excellent work by the Penguins to get back there as Philip Samuelsson did a good job to get that puck up the wall, and quickly the Penguins attack. And it's Kunitz. Dupre back to the front of the net. The loose puck. Kunitz digging for it. Dupuis with a backhander, and it was blocked in front. Dupuis with it again. Works it down to the corner for Kunitz. Crosby in front of the net. Dupuis way out by the blue line. Shoots the puck. It was blocked by Scandella. And Dupuis got it back. He tried to center. Cook reaches for it to get it out, but Philip Samuelsson got there and prevented him from doing so. And it jumps out of play near the Penguins bench.
Unbelievable work again by Samuelsson behind his own goal line. Kunitz helping out. Then the puck comes all the way up the ice, and Kunitz is involved again with Simone Dupre, another defenseman. And that's what's going on with the Penguins right now. We're seeing units of 5 playing 200 feet together in close proximity, and it isn't taking long to get from the defensive zone to the offensive zone.
Now the Wild trying to come through center. There's Niskanen gapping up again in the neutral zone. Gets a stick in there and pokes it right back into the Minnesota end. Brandon Sutter is there. Stoner sent it back behind the net. Picked off. And up to the point. Mata's shot is blocked. Sutter fires. He scores!
I love the defense. Niskanen's able to pinch up because Sutter is working strong defensively, and then Sutter gets rewarded again. The Penguins using the points. The shot doesn't get through, but Sutter, off a blocked shot by Koivu, is able to find that bouncing puck, get good wood on it, and he's rewarded again. And he is on fire. Keep shooting the puck, Brandon Sutter.
The big goal last night in regulation, and then the game-deciding goal in the shootout. The only guy who scored in that shootout, which was really a great display of goaltending by Henrik Lundqvist and Marc-Andre Fleury. And Sutter gets another one here to make it 2-0 Pittsburgh against the Wild. Wild play a lot of low-scoring, tight games. They're the 4th best defensive club in the NHL coming in. Here's Robert Bortuzzo with it. Slides it ahead to Harry Zolnarchuk. Zakhoff was interfered with behind the net by Nino Niederreiter. And Niederreiter's going to go to the penalty box. We're running into Jeff Zatkoff.
Niederreiter's had a good year. The Islanders kind of gave up on him. Had a great World Championship last year for Switzerland, and he's just trying to get through there. Zatkoff's trying to get back to the front of the net, and Niederreiter's trying to get into that space between Zatkoff and the net before Zatkoff can get back. But you have to allow the goaltender room to get back, and he didn't. Niederreiter's in the box.
Niskanen's shot sails high and wide. Niskanen pokes it down the wing. Taken there by Kunitz to Neal. Neal centers. And Brodziak able to whip it back to center ice. Over across to Sidney Crosby. Now for Neal. Kunitz able to glove it down. And back to get it as Jokinen. Look out, Cook on him. And you see Jokinen controls the puck nicely ahead to Sidney Crosby.
Well, you know they're going to pressure the Minnesota Wild. They're down 2-0 in this game. And if they're looking for life, a shorthanded goal would certainly give them that. So you just want to make sure you're protecting that puck here.
Crosby fakes the shot. Out of the corner, moves it back to the point. And it's Niskanen with it. Brings it to the middle. Goes left side to Kunitz. And Kunitz holds it. Down low for City. Let it go through. And all the way over to Jussi Jokinen. Crosby try to feed it to the front of the net, but Jonas Brodin breaks it up. Neal takes him to the boards, and the Penguins recover the puck. Neal with it. Neal fires, and it's blocked. He's trying to get it back. Puts it back to the point. Jokinen to Niskanen. He's shot. He scores!
What a rocket off the crossbar by Niskanen on a great feed by Jokinen. Put it on a platter. The Penguins, good puck possession. Niskanen always getting his shots. And look at that net front presence. The goaltender just shaking his arms. Backstrom as this puck goes by. Kunitz, great positioning. The goaltender is looking right into the backside of Kunitz, not fighting at all to get around that. I mean, he's just succumbing to that pressure and that screen by Kunitz, not battling at all.
He waved his arms, Bob, as if to say, hey, shouldn't that be a penalty?
No, it shouldn't. He's established that spot there above that blue paint. Great job.
Penalty coming up here is going to be against the Penguins. And now the Wild will have a chance with a man advantage, but they're down 3-0. Matt Niskanen has really had the shooter's mentality on the power play for the Penguins. He shot the puck a lot, and that one found its way into the net off the post. Just a beauty from way out by the blue line.
Take one more look from the backside. I mean, you got all the elements here. The perfect pass, the screen. Look at that shot. Oh, my.
Hit the crossbar and dropped into the net.
Oh, boy, almost where the crossbar and the goalpost met. And how are you going to stop that even on a good day? Even if you could see it, it would have been a tough one. And Josh Harding, the main man, trying to adjust his medicines, dealing with multiple sclerosis, MS, and he's their #1 guy.
And their backup tonight is Johan Gustafsson. Backstrom sounds like a Swedish name, but he's actually from Finland. Yep. And of course, there is another Nicholas Backstrom in the NHL playing for Washington, and he is a Swede. Minute 43 remaining on the penalty to Brian Dumoulin. He's in the box for hooking, and the Wild with the man advantage. This is their first power play chance. Spurgeon moves it left side. Koivu down low, centering pass off Amata, and then poked just wide of the goal. Amata was down, the puck was near him, he wasn't sure where it was. And now Suter way out by the blue line. To Koivu. Koivu closes in, shoots the puck, floats by the stick of Spurgeon. And they set it up from the half wall. Pass out to Suter, one-touch pass, Spurgeon's shot is stopped. Good save by Zadkov, and the Penguins able to clear it right away.
It's great to look at the details of the Penguins' penalty kill. Sticks on the ice, bodies in lanes, heads on swivels. That's how you become one of the best penalty killing units in the National Hockey League.
Niederreiter sent it behind the net. Zadkov stopped it. Dupre couldn't clear it. Charlie Coyle into the circle. Now back to Brodin. Jonas Brodin goes left side. Centering pass off the stick of Dupre. Ballard working that left point. Now on the near side is Danny Heatley. He's been a great power play goal scorer in his career. Heatley has 6 goals this year. He's a -10 for the Wild. And now center ice, Dupuis drives it long. Backstrom stops it there. Only 8 seconds remaining on the penalty to Dumoulin. And down to 1 second. They battle for the puck behind the net. Dumoulin back on the ice. Chris Kunitz takes it now. Kunitz starts out. Dumoulin still on the ice. He's going to take the pass here, dump it in, and then step into the bench as Kunitz goes to the corner against Brodin. Kunitz kicks it free. Centers for Crosby. Backstrom looks back. Puck was loose. He didn't know where it was. Held in now by Niskanen. Over to Dupre. Dupre to Adams. Adams turns away from his check. That's Brodziak. Looks it to the point. Dupre's shot hit a leg. Comes to Brodin. And Crosby plowed into the goaltender, Backstrom.
He got knocked on to Backstrom. Backstrom looks like he's feeling a little...
He's getting up real
effects.
slowly.
Yeah, I don't know if he went over on his knee. Ballard knocked Crosby into the netminder. I didn't see any penalty there. You can call inconsequential contact. There's Ballard, there's the shove. Nothing here. Nino Niederreiter took a penalty for hitting Zadkov, and now Sidney Crosby. You have to try to avoid the goaltender. They're going to say this was intentional, and he didn't try to avoid him as Ballard knocks Sidney Crosby right into Backstrom. Backstrom falls down like he got shot. But certainly Ballard with that extra shove. Trust me, Sidney Crosby would have been able to stand up on his own 2 feet, would not have fallen on the netminder had Ballard not pushed him.
Here's Suter with it across.
No stick.
No stick for Matt Niskanen. Now he has one. No, he doesn't. He didn't get it back. And a centering pass. And Spurgeon moves it back. And Suter. Down low it comes. And Parisi centered it, hit a leg. And Zatkov able to find it. Mata was down on his stomach, and I think the puck hit him. It was right in an area where Zatkov could cover it up.
Yeah, Mata was down on his stomach because he's trying to prevent the cross-crease pass. Niskanen had already broken the top end of his stick on the face-off. And he had to let that thing go right away. And so Mata, preventing that cross-crease pass, almost found it going in off his right leg. Zatkov had to be quite aware. Well, that stick, it was good. It was good for the goal, but it's gone now.
Suter with it now. Almonville out here. He's dangerous on the power play as well for the Wild as Parisi moves it down low. And taken now by Parisi. Around for Spurgeon. Almonville's in the circle off to the right of Zatkov as the Wild pressured. Moving it out as Suter across, and Spurgeon shot wide of the goal off the boards. And now Koivu takes it down low. Parisi tried to move to the front of the net, and Bortuzzo took it away, and he gets a lot on it to shoot it all the way down the ice.
And that gets the full change, full-scale change. The defenseman can get off.
Suter carries to center. Heatley tried to drop it back, and Dupuis broke it up, and he fires it off the boards and back into the Minnesota zone where it's taken by Jonas Brodin. 38 seconds to go on the penalty to Crosby. Samuelson and Dupre, the defensive tandem for the Penguins on the penalty kill. Sutter and Dupuis up top. Allard down the wing. Centers! Oh, and Zatkov got a piece of that. The man going to the net. Charlie Coyle was hovering there in front, and he never got the puck.
No, it went off the stick of Simon Dupre, and it was another big save by Zatkov. He bailed out Mata the shift before.
Now Zatkov scrambles out of the net to stop it. Leaves it there, and it's quickly sent up the ice. It didn't leave the zone. It stayed in, and Heatley into the corner for Coyle. Charlie Coyle, Niederreiter in front of the net, comes near side of Heatley. Now to Brodin. Back for Danny Heatley. Holds it, penalty over, Crosby on the shot off the stick of Dupre and wide of the goal. Over to get it is Adams. Throws his shoulder into Heatley, who gets the puck. But it went off his stick right to Dupuis. And ahead now to Sid. Crosby trying to get a step. Shoots it. And Backstrom able to somehow corral the puck. And it looked like it almost sneaked by him.
Oh, it did. It did every bit of his blocker, his chest pad, and his pants. Simon Dupre, here's the stick. Reaches behind, prevents that pass, but almost goes in. If not for the left pad of Zatkov. Coyle going to that back, and he looks back at Zatkov and says, nice job there. And there's Sidney Crosby coming out of the penalty box with a good head of steam, and Backstrom, well, it just doesn't seem that confident in the crease.
Matt Cook dropped it off. Spurgeon carries in, goes left side. Mitchell back to Brodziak, and his shot off a stick and up into the netting. And a face-off coming up in the Penguin zone to the right of Jeff Zatkov, who continues to be stellar in the net.
A lot of special teams play here. We haven't seen much of Connor. Zolnarchuk just getting on the ice here right now. Kobasu. There's been a lot of power plays and penalty kills as I look down the bench, and I do see Chris Connor right in the middle. But if you're not involved in this power play or penalty kill, it's tough. He's only played 27 seconds, but you know he'll be ready to go when called upon.
Matt Cook takes a face-off against Vitale, who won the draw. Vitale, the top face-off winner for the Penguins at 60% coming into the game. Puck up for grabs here. Spurgeon down the wing trying to keep it alive. Good battle for the puck on the wall. Spurgeon continues, keeps it alive now for Torrey Mitchell behind the net. He left it for Cook, back to Mitchell. Now to the point. And off a stick and into the Minnesota bench again as Scandella couldn't control it. Andrew McCutcheon's 2013 season absolutely ranks among the elite ever put up by a Pirates player. On a special edition of Inside Pirates Baseball, you can relive his incredible season. that helped the Pirates to the playoffs, earned him the highest individual honor in the game. Inside Pirates baseball, MVP tonight at 11 on Root Sports. Bortuzzo controls it, throws it ahead. Neal shuffled it along for Crosby. To Neal, and his shot on the short side is gloved by Backstrom, and he hangs on.
Ballmer gets in there on Kunitz, who went right by Backstrom. Backstrom, a lot of traffic. The Penguins are bringing it. Started with the Dupuis goal in the first minute of the hockey game. And it ends right here with Kunitz going right in front of the netminder. Just gets a piece of his glove. We saw the shift before. Crosby went off for a penalty as he fell on the netminder. And that's how you score goals in the National Hockey League. You got to get in there. You got to keep the goaltenders stuck in that blue paint, obscure their vision.
Neal playing alongside Sidney Crosby and Chris Kunitz here on the draw. And Mikko Koivu won the faceoff, but then they give it away. Stolen away by Kunitz. He centered for Neal and it went right by him. Charlie Coyle comes back to center. Neal checking him as he dumps the puck into the Penguin zone. Bortuzzo sends it back behind the net for Neal. Koivu tries to keep it in. Parise lifts the stick of Neal and Dupuis. Like that Dumoulin moving it over to the near side for Bortuzzo, and out of Crosby. And Sid will right in front of his own net. Cooley leaves it there for Brian Dumoulin. Dumoulin ahead now to Neal. Neal goes right side. Crosby holds it, centers. Neal went down. He was upended. There'll be a penalty on the Wild. And Neal battling now, drops the gloves with Ballard.
Oh, they're throwing him.
Neal takes the helmet of Ballard off and dumps him to the ice.
Yeah, he got a shot with the right hand on the way down. Ballard with hip checks. Other kind of hits. Ballard looks like he's got a cut on his face right now. Maybe not. And Ballard's explaining to the referee that I hit him in the thigh. I didn't hit him in the knee. Ballard likes to go low. As we take a look, the Penguins up by 3. Ballard goes low on Neal. Those are awfully low and risky hits.
It's not just a good time, it's Miller time.
3-0 here, Dan. I know it's been a period filled with special teams. You guys are 1 and 2 in the league in those categories, and it's an important one right here.
Oh, we had 2 huge kills, and the power play obviously gets us a 3-goal lead, but the kills were really big. They don't want to get them back in the game, and that's a dangerous group of guys out there. They did a great job.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you.
You know, sometimes those hip checks by Ballard, and he loves to use them. The one against Kovacic, I didn't have a problem with. James Neal's a little bit taller, and James Neal had a problem with it. So did Kovacic. They don't like those hits, the players. They don't like anything down at the knee. Ask Jason Magna about knees. And, you know, that can end a season, let alone maybe a career for a player. And Neal took exception, just like Kovacic did.
Crosby after the puck in the corner. Centers. Kunitz scores! 4-0.
Well, to score power play goals, a lot goes into it. You got to keep pucks in at the point, use the wall play, the dummy play back down. And Sidney Crosby around the back, like he's got eyes in the back of his head. Puts it right on the tape of Kunitz. Kunitz elevates the puck. That's what good finishers do. Kunitz is one of the great finishers in the game. Has really improved every season in that area. What a pass by Sidney Crosby. Wow.
His 19th of the season and his team-leading 10th power play goal. Chris Kunitz chipping it into the net. And the Penguins take a 4-0 lead on our UPMC Sports Medicine power play. The Penguins with a pair of those here tonight. And pretty awesome performance by the Penguins when you consider they played last night. The Wild were here resting, waiting for the Penguins to return from a New York game that started at 8 o'clock. Pominville goes to the net. Centering pass, they score. Niederreiter centered it.
And was it Pominville staying? It may have been Pominville.
Well, he was going to the net. I think he got a stick on it.
Yeah. So that gives him 16 to lead the league, or lead the Wild in that category. You could see the Penguins tried to get his stick. Dumoulin, as the pass by Niederreiter goes through the wickets of Bertuzzo, the stick of Dumoulin tries to lift Pominville's, but Pominville strong on his stick. He's able to redirect it over the glove hand of Zatkoff, and just like that, it's 4-1, and the Wild are trying to stay in it.
A team leading 16th for Pominville. So they answer very quickly on just their 13th shot of the hockey game. And we have 8 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the second period. Penguins defensively have been really something. But the Wild do find a way to get a puck behind Jeff Zatkoff. Heatley behind the net. Moves it out to the point, and Stoner sends it back in behind the goal. Kanaka is there. Dupre reaching around him. To the far side, pinching down is Stoner. He tried to move it behind the net, pops into the circle, and a diving effort by Joe Vitale helps to get that puck out. Now it's Brodin moving it right side. Bulmer trying to keep it in. Dupre slides it ahead where it's taken by Brandon Sutter, and he'll softly dump it into the Wild zone of the corner. Brodin back to play it. Behind the net, Brodziak carries it out. Kyle Brodziak to center. To Brett Bulmer. Brett Bulmer dumps it in. Brodziak gets in after with Niskanen. And Niskanen won that battle over to Wally Mata. Mata able to snap it ahead, and chasing after the puck now is Adams against Scandella. Adams chips it in behind the net for Jokinen. Former Shark Torrey Mitchell dumping it rink wide. Scandella sent it up the wall. Out for Cook in neutral ice. Lifted the stick of Niskanen. The Penguins end up with it. Now Brodziak drops it off to Spurgeon. Jared Spurgeon looks left wing. Cook dropped it back. Nobody home. Spurgeon over. Dumps it in. The Wild will change here. As the Penguins come to center, it's Kunitz. Kunitz stops up. Dumps it to the corner. Zach Sill trying to get in after it. It's going to be cleared by the Wild. And back into the Penguin zone where Simon Desprez takes it. Zach Parisi hot on his trail. Desprez does a great job to get that puck out. Ahead now to Dupuis, who backhands it to the side of the goal where Backstrom pokes it free. Cleared by Brodin off the glass out to center. Right wing pass to Charlie Coyle. And he shoots it off a stick wide of the goal. Crosby one-hands it to the far wall where Koivu sends it back behind the net. Crosby and Parisi battling. Crosby cleared it, but right on the tape of Suter. His shot blocked in front, loose in front of the net, and the Penguins trying to get it out, and it does come back to center ice. 6:06 remaining in the second period. The Penguins up by 3. Dupre with it. Moves it to the corner for Philip Samuelson. Banks it to center ice. Dupuis gloves it down for Kunitz. He shoots it long, and a blocker save made by Backstrom. Sutter fans on a wrist shot. Dumoulin couldn't keep it in, but Brandon Sutter does a good job to get back and make sure that Wild can't go forward with it, and he dumps it right back into the Minnesota zone. Penguins are changing as Brodin goes D to D. Shooter's lead pass off the stick of Pominville, and Bertuzzo trying to get a hold of it. Pominville's backhand pass goes through the paint and is picked up on the near wall where Connor had it wander off his stick. And the Penguins have to reset now. It's taken by Dumoulin up the left wing for Connor. Bumped in the neutral zone. Spurgeon stepping up on him, and now Stoner has it for the Wild. They'll dump it into the Penguin zone and go to work. Dumoulin hit hard. Kanopka in on the forecheck. Out of the near side, taken by Sutter, who banks it off the wood. It's going to be held in by Spurgeon. Oh, it just floated to the net. And an alert Zatkoff getting that blocker out to keep it from going in. It might have gone in, too.
Man, it was floating, and it bounced, and it started floating again. In a mind of its own.
Now here's Sutter with it. And emerge with the puck here, but Heatley worked it back to the point. Spurgeon holds it, fires. Zatkoff the save with the rebound. Spurgeon skated to the puck, but the Penguins able to clear it away to the near wall. Spurgeon gets back defensively as Connor just pushed it softly up into the Minnesota zone, allowing the Penguins to get a full change. The Wild Back in on the attack. Lose it, and Matt Niskanen headmans the puck for Connor and steers it to the corner. Penguins complete the change with Connor going to the bench. And it's Jokinen with it now in the corner. He and Kobasu working. Jokinen works it back to the point. Nada. Cross ice to Niskanen. Wrist shot. Blocked away. And controlled now by Torrey Mitchell, who moves it out for Spurgeon. He can't take the pass. And Mata steps up and whacks it down the boards, where it's taken by Adams. Coming to the goal. A shot stopped, but his second attempt was stopped as well. Now to the point, it's Niskanen. He shoots it wide. Chopped that by Adams, or Kobasu at the side of the net. Adams after it again to the corner. Behind the goal now for Jokinen. Back for Adams, but it's taken by Torrey Mitchell. Adams jumps in. Excellent work here by the Penguins' fourth line. It's Niskanen with it. Brings it to the middle. Tees it up and fires it. It's deflected wide of the goal.
Oh, great job by Niskanen. He walked the line there, and he kept his head up so he could find a stick. Mott is very active away. Wow.
What a big shot knocked down by Backstrom. Niskanen made another good play on the far wall to one-hand it down the board so they could get that shot off.
Mata made two great plays. Active on the blue line, showing his confidence and skating ability. Always in motion, head up, thinking. Niskanen. I mean, these guys are incredible right now.
Dupuis with some room now into the Minnesota zone. Swinging wide, firing, and a save made by Backstrom. And there is no rebound.
Well, it's like clockwork right now. Those last couple of assists for the Penguins.
Well, last week, the Penguins debuted their outdoor jerseys for their game against Chicago on March 1st. Different design, but the team colors are still basically on display. Now, they could have gone outside the box like the Reading Royals of the ECHL on Sunday. That's former RMU Colonials Ryan Carruthers and Brandon Baldina with the Christmas spirit. Do not adjust your television set. Wow. Very nice.
Christmas sweaters. Here's Brodin with it now. On the corrections department, that goal by Kunis was not a power play goal. Neal had picked up a roughing penalty in addition to the fighting major. Ballard a clipping penalty and a fighting major. So that was even Steven in that situation. And Kunis' goal was an even strength goal. Just want to make that correction. And now the puck is scooped up by Backstrom.
The Toledo walleye steak.
You gotta love that. I like it. I think it's a cool idea. Nice. All these ECHL teams are coming up with interesting ways to sell jerseys. I would assume that they're making those available to their fans. And the walleye is a great name. They do a lot of fishing for those up there off the shores of Lake Erie and Toledo. Dan Bilesma loves to fish for walleye. He went to Bowling Green right down the street from Toledo, Ohio. Now they work the corner. Sutter trying to get a hold of it. Over is Harry Zolnachuk. 2:20 to go in the period. Philip Samuelson takes a look over his left shoulder, gets to the puck, works it to Sutter. He dumps it back in behind the net to Vitale. A little reverse check there on Suter so that he can control the puck. Back over to Sutter. Sutter shoots it, and it's through traffic and then off a leg. It's ricocheted wide of the goal. Now the Wild able to get to center. And Dupre with it over to Samuelson. Out now to Zolnachuk, who steers it in. Brodin back to play it. Zolnachuk spins him off the puck, so the Wild get it. And Torrey Mitchell threw it way up the left wing for Brodziak, out of his reach. And Matt Niskanen has it again for the Penguins. Here comes Niskanen with his head up. Snaps it to the right wing for Neal, trying to get around Jared Spurgeon. Neal knocked off his stick to center. Charlie Coyle, right winger, dumps it to the right wing corner. Zadkov has to wait for it to come into the trapezoid. Back over to the near side. Parisi pinching down, or on the forecheck. Jokinen was able to get it over to Niskanen, who just poked it back up into the Minnesota zone. They try to get it out. They'll have to try again, and this time it's Spurgeon with it, working it ahead. Glove down by Parisi. Nothing is easy for the Wild right now as they come through that neutral zone. The Penguins really making it difficult. Lead pass now for Jokinen. Jokinen stops up and dumps it in deep. 1:02 to go.
1 minute. 1 minute. Penguins forecheck has been really good here, and not allowing Minnesota defensemen to turn up ice with that puck.
Dumoulin's shot blocked. He tried to get it back. Adams covered up for Dumoulin, and over to play it now is Robert Bortuzzo.
It's tough when you're a defenseman and you go back there for the puck. All you're doing is looking at glass. Unless you can see a reflection, it's tough to make a play up the other way.
Bortuzzo ahead for Kunitz. He was bumped by Howla. Howla with a puck. Eric Howla. Pominville skates in and shoots it. A blocker save made by Zatkoff. Howla back to the front of the net, but it's broken up. Crosby tried to get a stick on it. Dumoulin able to work it behind the net for Bertuzzo. 15 seconds to go in the second period. The Penguins leading 4-1. One more rush for Sid. Crosby shoots it and he missed the net on a wicked wrist shot. Dupuis over to play the puck. 5 seconds to go in the period. Bulmer down the right wing as time expires. Well, the Penguins, Matt Niskanen getting a goal from Jokinen and Neal. On the power play, Kunitz from Crosby and Niskanen. And Pominville scoring for the Wild, and it's a 4-1 game through 40 minutes of play. Bob?
Well, not much more to be said, although Chris Kunitz in front of that net is just one of the best, undoubtedly, in the game.
Let's go to Robin Jay for our second intermission report.
It's talking about, thanks very much, contributions really, Jay, from all up and down the lineup, and an excellent period, obviously, for the Penguins.
Yeah, again, they're just taking it to Minnesota right now. I mean, Minnesota's got a good record coming out of the West. They're not a team built to come from behind. But if you're that kind of game, you can't be giving up the lead. Well, Pittsburgh's kind of making it. It's a mix of both. What Pittsburgh's doing is getting to them. And then, you know, it's the work ethic, it's the relentless forecheck, it's the winning the battles. They did it in the first period, and they continue right through the next 20 minutes.
What else is continuing? A strong season from Matt Niskanen, and Dan Potash going to catch up with him. Jay will tell us straight. We have highlights from a couple games also going on in the NHL when we return right after this.
Now, Penguins Intermission, presented by Mercedes-Benz.
3 Penguins goals in the second period. Minnesota finally got one from Jason Pominville to cut it to 4-1. That's where we stand after 2 as we welcome you to the second intermission report presented by Mercedes-Benz. Alongside Jay Caulfield, I'm Rob King. Jay's going to tell us straight for you in just a moment, but Matt Niskanen's strong play continues. He's with Dan Potash, brought to you by UPMC Sports Medicine.
Well, guys, it's starting to pick up a lot of speed on social media and Twitter. Not Niskanen, Niskanen, based on that shot. And I don't want to take anything away from the strength of your shot, but you need a little help from Kunitz out in front as well, right?
Yeah, I don't think the goalie saw that one. My shot isn't that hard, so good screen and a good pass by Juice.
Defensively, talk about the gap that you guys are setting up, especially in the neutral zone. Outside of the one goal, it's been very difficult for them to set up in front of Zatkoff.
Yeah, we've been tight on them all night. I think they are getting a little bit frustrated because we've been in their face, and they're just forcing some bad plays, really, because we're in their face and having good sticks, and we're going the other way and getting some offensive zone time.
Niskanen. Just think about it, okay?
Yeah, I'll go with it.
I like it. Guys, it's all yours.
All right, Matt and Dan, thank you very much. Chris Kunitz also with his 9th tee. Jay's going to illustrate that very pretty play for you when we return to the second intermission report presented by Mercedes-Benz.
Penguins Hockey on Root Sports is brought to you by 5 Hour Energy, which helps recognize those who, despite their own needs, put others first. And by Angry Orchard Hard Cider. Branch out.
Have a comment or question about tonight's game? Send us your tweets using the hashtag PensBooth, and we'll use some of your comments or questions about the game during the post-game show. It is 4-1 Penguins. There have been a wide variety of different kinds of goals scored. Maybe the prettiest, Jay, is the one you're going to tell us straight as Crosby sets up Kunitz.
We'll take a look, and it just first of all, that's just skill and knowing where each other's at. We're going to start. We're going to find Kunitz right here. Crosby's on the wall right now, battling hard. And you're going to see Dupuis in the corner. The puck's going to go around, and the first thing you want to look at, watch, freeze it right here. Now, the guy that's got Kunitz is Koivu, all right? One defenseman's right here on Dupuis. The other one right here is going to have Crosby in this spot. But the key guy is going to be Koivu with Kunitz. The next thing you're going to watch is Dupuis. When he goes up the wall, he lets this wraparound go. He knows if it's that hard, let it go. Freeze it right there. Look at the separation right here. All of a sudden, Koivu, now he swings. They're both swinging back because it's going around the corner. But watch how Koivu just lets up just enough right before the net, not ever thinking Crosby's going to whip a backhand. and Kunitz, they just know it. There's a little delay. That cost it right there. Again, it's a great play. Nitpicking on Koivu, but that's his guy. Once that puck went around the wall, that his responsibility was Kunitz, and he let him go just for a split second, and it's in the back of the net. But the part that you like too, is Dupuis knowing, hey, look, it's a hard wraparound, I'm letting it go.
Right.
And he lets it go to Crosby, but that part, once you're rotating in your movement, he had his responsibility, he lost it for a second, and it's in the back of the net. Right. Great plays. Great players make great plays. That was it right there.
Yeah, they just needed that split second for Kunitz to get his 19th. Let's take a look at our summary through 2 periods of play and look at the shots, Jay.
Yeah, again, power play, 1 for 2. Again, they're lethal on the power play right now. Shots, they're just, we said in the beginning, they're taking it to Minnesota right now, and they're not a team built to come.
Penguins defenseman Matt Niskanen saw increased ice time in the 2012-2013 season by averaging over 20 minutes per game. He also tallied goals in back-to-back games for the first time in his career.
After the horn sounds, stay with Root Sports for extended highlights, reaction from the Pens locker room, and Jay's Telestrator. Penguins postgame after every Pens game on Root Sports.
Penguins looking for their 6th win in a row, their 9th straight home win. They've got a pretty good down payment towards that, up 4-1. In case you're just joining us, here's what you missed, presented by your Western PA Honda dealers.
On the glove save made by Nicholas Backstrom. He juggles the puck, and the Penguins score! Right side for Tuzan shot, and he hit the goal post. Up to the point, Mata's shot is blocked. Sutter fires, he scores! Puts it back to the point, Jokinen to Niskanen. He's shot, he scores! Crosby after the puck in the corner, centers, Kunitz scores! 4-0. Pominville goes to the net, centering pass, they score! Well, Chris Kunitz is on one of those hot streaks again, Bob. He's got 8 goals in his last 13 games.
Oh, he's in on every goal. The Penguins scored 3 or 4 of them tonight. I mean, he just goes to the front of the net. Last night, he just goes to the front and he just jams away, plays to the whistle. I mean, he just goes to the blue paint and never, ever stops. Tonight, right there in the first minute, he's still whacking away when the puck's over the goal line. He's in front of the netminder, Backstrom, on the Niskanen goal. He goes to the front of the net for the Crosby feed. Every time you look at Chris Kunitz, he's right in front of the net, either scoring goals or having a part in a goal. Absolutely terrific. He's got 19 goals on the season. What a season Chris Kunitz is having, playing alongside Pascal Dupuis and Sidney Crosby.
He drives goalies crazy, doesn't he?
He drives goalies crazy, defensemen crazy. He's a tough guy. He's listed at 6 foot. He might be 5'11 and a half, 195 pounds.
He's built like a hockey player, basically.
He's a spark plug for sure.
Parisi got knocked down, and the puck comes back to the Penguin defense, and only Mata snaps it ahead. Penguins have been so good at home. Working on their 9th straight home win, as Rob King said. They scored the first goal in the first minute of a home game, 3 straight home games. New Jersey, Toronto, and tonight against Minnesota.
Preparation. I mean, just being ready to play at the drop of the puck. How important is that first goal? I mean, it's right there.
And you've heard so many times, Bob, in your career, I'm sure, how teams say we want to make it tough for teams to play us in our barn, or when you come into our house, we can't make it easy on you. Certainly, that's what the Penguins are doing this year.
Yeah, as well as the Wild in their home barn.
That's true. One of the best home records in the NHL. The Penguins, you could argue, have the best. They have the most points, and certainly one of the best. Penguins coming in with a 15-3 home record. Day Auto brings you a great day for hockey, and it was a good day for Sidney Crosby as he it was second set of points, finishing up his first 100. Sidney Crosby 2 assists again tonight, and assisted on Dupuy's goal at the start of the game, and also on that Kunitz goal we just showed you. Now the puck behind the net, and Zatkoff slides it over to the near corner. Collision there in the corner between Bortuzzo and Brodziak, and now Harry Zolnarchuk will bring it up to center and dump it into the right wing corner of the Wild zone. Neal getting in after it. Back around to the far side of Torrey Mitchell, out for Matt Cook. He slides it back to neutral ice. Bortuzzo dumps it right back in. Scandella sent it up the wall. Torrey Mitchell comes to center. A 3-on-2 developing here unless Neal can hurry and get back. And now an errant pass comes right to Philip Samuelson. He left it there, but Matt Cook takes it behind the net. Centers for Stoner moving up. Stoner couldn't take the pass, and Cook moves it back to the point, and Ballard risks one high off a stick and up into the netting behind the Penguins' goal.
We talked about Kunitz, Crosby, and Dupuis, and look what they've done in the last 8 games. 13 goals, total of 27 points. And they just keep filling the net for the Pittsburgh Penguins, and another great job out there. A 3-on-2 that the Penguins gave up on the last shift there, Staggy. It's really the first odd man situation we've seen them give up in the hockey game, and even at that, Simone Dupre did a great job with that gap control.
Niederreiter with it now. Penguins' third line is on, and they've done a good job too. They've got 5 goals in the last 7 games, 10 points. With the goal by Sutter tonight, make that 11 because Vitale assisted on the goal. And now shot wide of the net by Niederreiter, and taken in behind the net by Dupre. Just shuffles it along for Philip Samuelson, and he's on his backhand and uses the window to get it out to center. And Vitale down the wing. Now Niederreiter hit hard by Connor. Connor with that low center of gravity. He can really rock guys, but he gets good leverage on them. And now the puck is dumped in by Suter. Ole Mata and Matt Niskanen, a heck of a pair right now for the Penguins as Mata comes ahead. Shoots it up into the corner. Kovacic gets in after it. Ballard able to jab it up the wall, and Bulmer handed it off there, trying to get it to Konopka, and it comes back to the defense of the Wild. Stoner will take it and dumps it in.
Mata looking around, head on a swivel as he goes back for that puck, trying to find out where his option is before he touches the rubber.
Penguins have allowed only 35 goals in 19 home games, including the one here tonight. There's a shot, and it hit the goal post. Akov looks for it, they poke it in. And right on the doorstep was Charlie Coyle on his knees. And the Wild get an early goal here, relatively early here in the third period, to give them some life. They're down by 2 now, as they worked hard for that one.
Well, they played to the whistle. The initial shot, everybody thought it was in. A couple players stopped playing. Adams had lost his stick in front, and that denied him the opportunity to clear that puck, I believe. Comes back to the point. Coyle makes a good play to the point, gets to the front of the net. There's the screen, and Coyle just keeps jamming away. He's had one heck of a hockey team. There's the float shot by Ballard off the chest of Heatley. Both Heatley and Coyle whacking away at that puck, and, well, number 2 overall was Heatley in his draft year. He certainly lost a step or two, but he's still got the hands around the blue paint, and he's not sure if he gets credit or Coyle.
Coyle was acquired from San Jose in that Brent Burns deal. Pretty good hockey player. Almonville fires one off the goalpost, and all of a sudden the Wild are getting opportunities here. He scores there, and they're down by 1. They've hit a couple of posts here in this period. Now Brodin works it to the corner, and Almonville sends it down low. Parisi with it. And the Wild have come out here with a little fire in this third period. Not happy with their performance, obviously, through the first 2. The Penguins are up by 2. And they need to kind of stem the tide a bit right now. Here's Suter with Dupuis leaning on him. And a shot down low by Parisi. And Zatkoff may have gotten a piece of that. Now on the near side, it's Bortuzzo. Robert Bortuzzo gains the red line and dumps it softly up into the corner. Ryan Suter banks it off the boards past Jokinen. Torrey Mitchell finds his man at center, jumping into the attack. Brodziak, but it's taken away from him by Philip Samuelson. Now the Wild dump it right back in, and Simone Desprez snaps it up the wall. He got it to center. The Wild knock it back in. The Penguins get it again. And here comes James Neal. Hard pass ahead to Jokinen. Looks left wing. for Zolnarchuk, following on is Neal. Stick handles his way. Centers, shot by Jokinen, deflected away. And now Neal works it back to the point, and Samuelsson. He knew the only place to go with that puck was where he sent it, off the wall, to get it deep. But now it's brought back to center ice by Cook. Samuelsson stepped up on him, and over to play it was Jokinen. Good pressure D that time by Samuelsson.
Great job by Samuelsson. He realized Cook was 1-on-3, maybe 1-on-4. And you don't just sit back there and retreat. The offside defenseman comes across, and wow, great play by and good read by Samuelsson. And he's got to get off the ice.
Niederreiter gets in on the puck now. Niskanen takes him against the wall. Following on is Palmenville to move it to the point. Now it'll be Stoner with it. He throws it wide of the goal. It comes up the wall now for Ballard on his backhand. He dumps it to the corner, but only Mata's waiting there. Mata sends it ahead for Connor. He's able to chip it behind Ballard. Stoner over to play with Vitale bearing down on him. And Connor ends up taking the puck, but he lost it. And the Wild quickly go the other way. The Penguins got to hurry to get back here. Over the line, Niederreiter. Left side, Ballard a shot. Step up, makes the save, and finds that rebound just in time.
Yep, there's going to be a penalty on Olli Mata. He got late to the ice for the shift change, and he got late to the party there. Took down his man going to the net. That's Niederreiter looking for the rebound off the pads. And that might be a good penalty. It was loose there, right off that left toe. Niederreiter was going to jam that puck, and Mata got the hook in. And the Penguins going to have to kill the Wild power play.
The Penguins have really done a great job in the penalty killing department. And the Wild once again with an opportunity here. They're 0 for 2 with 2 shots. Penguins back up to number 2 in the league in PK. Those 2 kills, and now off the draw, Koivu against Sill, and it's going to be held in by Jared Spurgeon, who slaps it in around.
Yeah, Palmenville got cross-checked by Adams. Palmenville was running interference for Spurgeon, and Adams couldn't get to the puck. And what happened was Adams just cross-checked Palmenville because Palmenville was running that mock interference. Adams doesn't like the call. He's got to fight through that with his feet, not his stick. And when he just cross-checked Palmenville down, head first into the boards, because Palmenville provided that interference trying to give Spurgeon a chance. Take a look at the left side of the screen here. There's Palmenville with the interference, and there's the cross-check. So it's going to be a 5-on-3 for, well, they have 1:46 to play with, the Wild do.
By the way, Bob, the Wild are 4-11-2 and they trail after 2. That's actually a pretty good record. They've got 4 wins. They picked up a couple of other points when they've been trailing going to the 3rd period.
10 points, yeah. Big face-off here.
Koivu to take it against Jokinen, or Sill rather, and Sill did not win that draw. Koivu did, and the Wild set it up now. And a 5-on-3. Spurgeon with it. Suter takes it. Down low. Palmenville takes it. And moves it back up top to Suter. They switch places. Centering pass. Good job by Bortuzzo to put his body down and break up that centering pass. But it stays with them. Palmenville in front. Oh, the shot just wide by Parisi. And it looked like he had a lot of net to work with.
Well, he did, but he bobbled the puck. And that split hesitation and a rolling puck. And he forced it off the side of the net, did Zakhoff, as he dove across to the left.
Koivu drops it off to the near wall, and hustling to the puck is Bortuzzo, and all in one motion slaps it back up into the Minnesota zone. We have that's just less than a minute to go on the 2-man advantage for the Wild. Mata and Adams are in the box. Now they work it down low. Koivu up top. Spurgeon, Suter is blasted. It's deflected away by Sill. And stays with the Wild. Spurgeon with it again. Palmenville works his way into the circle. Centers. Look out. Koivu shot back by Zakhoff. And the rebound poked away to the near corner. And that was Parisi right there with a great opportunity out to the left of Zakhoff. A big save on Zach Parisi. And now down the near wall, it's Palmenville with it. Out to Suter. Palmenville centers. Parisi shoots at Zakhoff there again to stop him. He tried to center. It stays again with Palmenville to Brodin. 6 seconds on the 2-man. Parisi again. Koivu's in the slot. Shot by Palmenville off the heel of the stick. Parisi centers, but right to the Penguins. And it's cleared by Sill. And out of the box comes Mata to the goal. Stopped by Baxter.
Penalty shot.
Yes.
Ole Mata, at 19 years of age, out of the box, has got himself a penalty shot. He read the play, so did Sill, lofted it up in that open area. He was impeded on his way in there, didn't get a great opportunity, and it's one-on-one right here. Mata's checking that stick.
Finn against Finn.
And what a penalty kill on the 5-on-3.
And 4 seconds left on the penalty to Adams. So this would be a shorthanded goal, and Mata could score. Scores!
Now there it is. Up and over the pad, under the blocker, trickles in. All the Penguins up. What a feeling that is on the penalty shot. Ole Mata, he may never get a penalty shot again in his entire career. And at 19 years of age, look at that smile. What a feeling that is for the youngster.
So the Penguins' first shorthanded goal of the year is a penalty shot goal, too.
I think we got an empty net earlier.
Did we? So it's the second?
Goal, yeah.
You're right. That's right. Here's a shot now by Ballard off a leg wide of the net. Taken by Dupre. Boyle fires it wide of the goal. Boy, the Wild are really coming on. They had a golden opportunity with a two-man advantage. And the Penguins turn the tables on them and make it 5-2. That is demoralizing, to say the least.
Zach Parise had 3 for a quarter to the left of Zakhoff. His first chance, his best chance. The other two, Zakhoff was over there to stop it and really turn the tide. You're right.
Here's Torrey Mitchell with it now, over to Scandella. And a shot, and Zakhoff fought his way out to get to that puck with Brodziak right in front of the net.
Yeah, that is more like goaltender interference than Sidney Crosby's was, as he backed right into Zakhoff. But Mata with a little head and shoulders, backhand to forehand to Pittsburgh, and the Wild on a 5-on-3 power play. Zach Parise, his best chance was right there. He hit the side of the net with a bouncing puck. Again, he had a second opportunity. Zakhoff read that one. And when it happened a third time, Zakhoff was there square to stop Zach Parise. Once again, 3 for a quarter wasn't enough. Mata came out of the box, got hauled down, got impeded on his way in, received the penalty shot, and Todd Reardon and Mata can laugh about it now. And that's an exhilarating feeling right there. I was fortunate enough to have a couple of penalty shots myself. It's you know, all the eyes upon you. It's just one-on-one, and you're afraid of the worst. You're afraid of missing the. You're afraid of missing the puck, of falling down like Steven Stamkos did last year. You're afraid of embarrassment. Well, you got the shot on net. He got himself a goal.
And you know what? I honestly think that sometimes that Ole Mata's not afraid of anything. I think that's one of the reasons why he's so good. He's got no fear. And now the puck is banked off the glass and slides up where it's going to be picked up by Zoldercheck, and he backhanded it right through the paint. And Dumoulin will chop it right back inside the Minnesota zone. There's still a lot of time left in this game, Bob.
Well, there really is, but you know, just like that, it could have been 4-3. It's 5-2 now, and you could just sense the bench. You could look over there, everybody just deflated. Look at it. Zoldercheck's got really good speed. He really does. He can get on pucks and force turnovers like Vitale. This line, what a pain to play against.
Zoldercheck able to jab the puck and pitchfork it over to the near wall. And Suter on him, and now it'll be taken by Brodin as he comes out of his own zone. He's challenged by Kovacic. Bob, you said that penalty that Mata took was a good penalty.
Yeah, Niederreiter was going there. He looked like he had a chance to shuffle one maybe past Zakhoff.
So he takes a penalty, comes out of the box and draws a penalty shot and scores. The ACC is on Root Sports. You can catch the conference's best games, rivalries, and teams, including the Pitt Panthers, all winter long. With over 140 events and insider shows, your all-access pass to the ACC is right here on Root Sports. Oh, big hit by Dupre on Konopka. He really rocked him in behind the net.
As Konopka will come back at you. And this game, there is a lot of time. Konopka, he went in on Zakhoff, and he could try anything.
He's trying to figure out where he is right now, though. He got hit hard by Dupre. Took him a second to get his legs back. He's a little wobbly there. Here's Dupre with it. Shuffles it over to the far side. He took a hit that time from Bulmer, and now Bulmer will get to the puck. It's on edge, bouncing, and he backhands it into the corner. Philip Samuelson back to play it. Fights off the check of Bulmer. Moves it over to the far side, and it's taken there by Kovacic. He banks it ahead.
The hitting's escalated after that Dupre hit.
Neal slithers his way down the wall, spins away from Stoner, centers it off the skate of Ballard. Coming to the net was Kunitz. It comes through for Ole Mata. Now to Sidney Crosby, a blast wide of the goal. Kunitz able to reach it on the carom. Back to the point, Mata gloves it down. Slap pass, I think he was looking for Kunitz cutting into the slot. Instead it just went to the corner, and now Crosby will hunt the puck to the far side. Crosby brings it all the way up to the blue line. Across now for Matt Niskanen. His shot deflected off the goalpost.
Boy, it went off Ballard's stick, and there's another shot by Niskanen. He just keeps
He's got the shooter's mentality, Matt Niskanen. And here's Kunitz now. Kunitz back up top. Niskanen again. This time he pokes it to the corner, and Neal will take it behind the net. Neal centers, and it goes past Crosby and out to the blue line. Mata held it in. Sent it back to the right wing corner. I thought that might have come over the line, but he got to it.
Look at him. He's looking to poach in the back door, too. He's so confident right now.
Neal shoots it in the save by Backstrom, and no rebound.
Well, Ballard's had a few hits. Simone Dupre, he wanted to get involved, and Konopka still trying to figure out where he is. Challenge of the night. And there's Bortuzzo. Welcome back, Matt Cook, in the first shift of the hockey game. And on the last shift, Simone Dupre down on Zenon Konopka in a 5-2 Penguin advantage.
The Wild had won their last 2 games by shootout. They've been involved in a lot of one-goal games, and they've had a good record in that category. But tonight they're down by 3 against a Penguin team that keeps finding ways to score. They did get James Neal back in the lineup. But the goal scorers, Dupuis, Sutter, Niskanen, Kunitz, and Ole Mata. And the Penguins will be the traveling Wilkes-Barres after they play the Calgary Flames on Saturday. The 1 o'clock start on Saturday afternoon, another game against the West. By the way, 19 of the last 40 games for the Penguins this season are against Western Conference teams.
Where we saw a lot of special teams play. It was good to get everybody else involved here as we get into the third. All 4 lines playing a lot.
7:48 remaining in the third period. And Spurgeon can't hold it in. And he'll find Ryan Suter at center ice. Now Coyle trying to get it inside the zone, but the Penguins wouldn't let him do that. Vitale pried it free, and Zolarchuk with that speed able to get over and dump it into the corner. Vitale goes in against Koivu, who spun away from that, and then he sends it in behind the net for Ryan Suter. Over to Zach Parise and back to Suter. Suter gliding with the puck now, looking around for some open space as the Penguins clog it up in the neutral zone. Now on the near wall, the Wild go to work. Cook threw it rink wide and will be taken by Scandella. Swings around Niskanen. Carries in behind the net on his backhand. Centers. It's loose. They chop away at it. Cook is there. Net's been dislodged. And a slap shot to the net. And Zakhoff makes the save on Heatley after the net had been off for at least 10 seconds.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding penalty on Matt Niskanen. A lot of traffic in front of Zakhoff. As the Wild are trying to make one last effort, last-ditch effort to try to get back into this hockey game. They have a power play, and that power play goal would go a long way. You see all the traffic in front. And the net is off its moorings right there, and the referee has already put his arm up. And had that puck gone in, it would not have counted. Super Mo presented by Allegheny Health Network. So the Penguins, without the NHL's leading plus-minus man, Matt Niskanen, is in the box. A plus 20 right now on the season. They're going to have the little net repairs. They have to fix the mooring that keeps the net from coming off. and sliding around. They're going to have to fix that, Staggy. But Matt Niskanen is a +20 on the season in plus-minus. Tied with Francis Beauchemin in that category. And a plus, you get a plus when you're on the ice for an even strength situation. A 4-on-4, a 5-on-5, not a power play. Niskanen scored a power play goal tonight. You don't get a plus for that. You get a plus if you're on the ice for your team's shorthanded goal, if you're outmanned. Oh, and you do get a plus for a penalty shot, as we saw Olli Maatta get here tonight. He got a shorthanded goal and a plus for that. The only player that would receive a plus in that situation.
0 for 4 of the Wild with a man advantage. They have 6 shots on the power play. Trying to make it a 5-3 game here. They failed on that 5-on-3, but they get another opportunity here. And there's Parise again. It eluded his stick, and Olli Maatta back. How did he get to that puck? But he shot it over the glass.
May have clipped something on the way out. I'm not sure. They're all going to convene. And I don't know if it was his follow through or the puck went directly over the glass. My initial thought was that it went directly over. I'm not positive, though.
He made a great play to get the puck out in the first place, but then, unfortunately, I think he may have shot it right over the glass.
It doesn't mean they're going to get the call on the ice, as they don't have instant replay. And they're going to say that it went off. A Wild player went over the glass, and the face-off will be outside. One more look. Somebody get a stick right there. Yeah. Just a little clip off a stick and up and over, and I believe they got that right.
Olli Maatta slaps it hard this time.
And he slapped it really low, too.
Now it's Suter with it with 1:32 to go on the penalty to Matt Niskanen. Suter slides it left side to Parise. Into the corner he goes with Bortuzzo on him. Back around for Pominville to the right point to Spurgeon. Now to Suter. Ryan Suter centers, and it's off the stick of Adams and sails up into the seats on the far side.
Great sticks again. Great sticks for the Penguins, who have killed off a 5-on-3 last night in New York, again tonight. And they don't have one of the best 5-on-3 guys, I think, in the game in Rob Scuderi. But they're doing it. They're getting it done here.
And the Penguins have not allowed a 5-on-3 goal this year, have they, Bob?
I don't believe they have.
I don't think they have. Maybe they have. I think they may have allowed. They might have allowed 2.
They have allowed 2. As I look in the.
Yep, they've allowed 2
program.
Now the Wild working to get a 5-on-4 goal here if they can. And Dupre falls down. Samuelson in there. Niederreiter comes up with a puck. Sends it back up the wall where it's taken by Ballard.
No stick for somebody.
Ballard near side of Coyle. Dupuis without a stick. Look out. Chance here now for Rodin, who moves up on the play. Snaps it out to the center point. Ballard, a Coyle shot at Zakov in good position. Makes the save on him. Oh, solid body check in the near corner on Dupre by Charlie Coyle. He's a big boy that can really throw his weight around. Now he knocks another man down, but the puck emerges to Samuelson, and there's going to be another penalty here.
I don't know if it's just 1 or it's going to be 2, as Coyle is looking guilty. Some good work there. Simon Dupre had lost his stick, so Pascal Dupuis gave him his. And there is the hit from behind Coyle on Simon Dupre. Take a look at the handoff from the sticks right here. There's Pascal Dupuis. Dupre needs a stick. There it is. Here, use mine. You're a lefty. I'm a lefty. Maybe it's not quite as tall as you'd like. And Simon Dupre actually had to reach for a puck in the corner. He was hit hard twice in that shift. 1 on the penalty and 1 just prior to that.
I think that Dupre was hit so hard that he may have gone into the boards. He's huffing and puffing a little bit with Chris Stewart talking to him. He was hit from behind by Charlie Coyle. We've seen so much of that in the game lately. Guys getting hit from behind near the boards. And Coyle's in the box. Another 27 seconds remaining in the penalty to Matt Niskanen, and Sutter chips it inside the line. 4-on-4 hockey at the moment. And the Penguins will have a power play. Spurgeon down the right wing, centers, and a shot by Torrey Mitchell is stopped by Zakov, with the rebound gobbled up now by Brandon Sutter. Sutter coolly skates with the puck and drops it back for Olli Maatta. Maatta turns, Get it going here north, waiting for Niskanen to jump on. They do, and the Penguins 1 for 2 with the man advantage. They have 4 shots on their power plays tonight. And of course, they do have a goal on the penalty shot by Ole Mata. The centering pass off a stick, bounces up into the Wild zone. And Scandella able to clear it back to center ice. Dumoulin to Niskanen. Penguins power play on. Another minute 7 to go on the penalty to Charlie Coyle. Crosby one-hands the puck behind the net. Neal tried to center it, and it's going to be cleared by Brodziak, and he gets a lot on it to get it all the way down the ice. Taken now by Niskanen. Matt Niskanen with Brian Dumoulin at the point. Neal, Kunitz, and Crosby up front. Kunitz takes the pass in his feet, looks around for it. Crosby comes in to help out. Nice backhand pass out to the right point to Niskanen. Now to Dumoulin. Dumoulin back to Sidney Crosby. Kunitz is in front of the net again. Crosby works it back to the point. Dumoulin to Niskanen, wrist shot, sticked away, and cleared now by Torrey Mitchell. And with 26 seconds to go on the penalty to Charlie Coyle. Dumoulin goes back to get it.
Dumoulin had a chance to shoot the puck on that power play, instead deferring to Sidney Crosby and company.
Dumoulin makes a nice play to gain the zone and find Sidney Crosby, who closes in. Leaves it there for Dumoulin. It comes right back to Sid. Reverses it to the corner to Neal. Neal back to Dumoulin. Across the ice, Matt Niskanen. Wrist pass as he just dumps it to the corner. And Crosby will take it there with Stoner on him. He protects it center. It goes right past the stick of Kunitz. Will be picked up by Coyle, who just came out of the penalty box. Coyle against Mata to the backhand, trying to drag it through his stick and leg in a little Fedorov move, but that didn't work. And now Kunitz comes back. He's got Kobasu with him, goes cross ice and a shot. Oh, and that hit the goal post of the crossbar again. And a good chance coming down the wing for Zach Still, who was looking for his first NHL goal. Now Mata fires one high and wide off the glass, and it'll come all the way back into the Penguin zone.
Kunitz so smart, realized the Penguins had a 3-on-2, but it just, you know, it had to materialize. So he just waited, he bided his time. And he got the blue line, he backed up the D, and it happened for him. They found Sill. Sill found the goalpost or the crossbar. It was a good hard shot and good release by Sill after taking the pass across his body.
Sill still looking for his first NHL goal in his 10th NHL game. He came oh so close. And now Dumoulin with it out on the right wing to Kobasu. He'll dump it to the corner. Get in after it against Brodin. Connor there as well. Connor on the wall. Puck squirts free, and it'll be taken now by the Wild, and out they'll come. Danny Heatley. Now another hit on the near boards, this time by Ballmer. He knocked the Penguin down.
Yeah, that was a really cheap hit. Kobasu had his back turned the whole way. You could see it. I could count 1,001, 2, and 3. Ballmer just didn't let up, and just a bad hit. And there it is.
It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. It's Mata time.
There it is, Brodin with the hook. The penalty shot award to Mata. Oh, look at that. Little twist to the stick and the shoulders. He cradled the puck a little bit and becomes the second defenseman in Penn's history to score on a penalty shot.
Wow, George Connick. Wow. That's in the first season ever of Penguins hockey. George Connick did it. That's the last time it's been done. That's amazing. So Ole Mata making some Penguins history here tonight. Interesting that it was Brodin who hooked him, because it was Brodin last year who was really good for the Wild. He was drafted.
And that came right after a 5-on Penguins that killed off a 5-on-3 for over a minute and a half.
Brodin was drafted 10th overall in 2011. Mata 22nd overall in 2012. And that year in 2012, the Minnesota Wild took Matthew Dumba ahead of Ole Mata. He's currently not in the NHL, and Ole Mata scoring on penalty shots in the NHL. At the age of 19, what a player.
Yeah, well, last night Dan Bylsma was asked in New York after that shootout, who's going to be your next shooter? He said, well, I'll tell you this, it was going to be a defenseman. Well, Armando's player of the game, would it have been him, Ole Mata, last night? I thought it was going to be Simone Dupre.
Ole Mata got Penalty shot goal and also a couple of assists here tonight. His first career 3-point game, and he just keeps doing amazing things. The more opportunity he gets to play. Now Niskanen sent it to the right wing, up into the Wild zone. We're under a minute to go in the hockey game. And the Penguins run another power play, and Mata behind the net now moves it near side of Jokin, and up top Niskanen a drive, and Backstrom able to corral it with a broken stick in front of him.
Well, the Penguins had only a couple of guys skate this morning. The Wild went on and skated in the Penguins' allotted time normally at 10:30 on home ice for the morning skate. But the Penguins with that late game last night in New York, just taking the rest.
Penguins have been very physical, Bob, here at home, as you've noticed from down there between the benches. With 7 fights in the last 7 games. They only had 12 fights in the first 30.
No, yeah, they really took exception to those Ballard low hits. You saw Kovacic and Neal really, stepping in for themselves.
Here's Sutter closing in. Sutter swings behind the net. Dupre wants the puck. Now he'll get it. And skating beautifully over to Ole Mata. Back to Simon Dupre. He shoots it off a skate right to Sutter. Near side a shot. Good save by Backstrom on Mata. Boy, he came way across to make that one. Jokinen with it now. He shoots it softly to the net. Rebound's going to be cleared at the last second by Matt Cook. He was such a great penalty killer for the Penguins. And he'll, in his first return to Pittsburgh, see the Penguins celebrate.
What a team effort.
The Penguins have won 6 in a row, 11 of 12, 9 straight at home, and Zadkov has won 6 in a row himself.
Well, it doesn't matter what the name is on the back of the jersey. It's a crest in the front, and this team has bonded together like, well, almost like no other team we've seen. I mean, there's been injuries, but the amount of injuries, the depth that we've seen come up from Wilkes-Barre, and what this whole organization has been able to do and produce, and the wins that keep coming and coming.
Let's go to Rob King and Jay Caulfield for the Penguins postgame show.
Stuggy, Bob, thanks very much. Well put by Bob about the Penguins jersey meaning something. I mean, they've won now 6 in a row.
Yeah.
Zadkov has won 6 in a row. They've won 9 straight at home. They've got a lot of streaks going with a lot of different personnel playing for them.
Yeah,